What about Cory and Hamas? What about that? You think that would...
Derek, shut the fuck up.
What about Cory and Hamas? Do you think that will solve the... You think you can talk to
Cory.
Somebody get Kyle Massey on the phone.
Hey, look, it's a little dead meme.
This episode is brought to you by Into the AM. I've been working with Into the AM for years now, and I absolutely love their products. I have a wardrobe full of their graphic tees, which are second to none. And guess what? Into the AM has just launched their fall collection, and I absolutely love what they've added to their store. They've launched great color selections of their pullover hoodies, Henleys, and button-ups. I've also had a chance to wear some of their joggers. And let me tell you, these are the most comfortable pants I own. I have many joggers, but absolutely nothing like this. It's like slipping on a cloud. They also have the not-so-normal graphic tees I was just talking about, and many of other best sellers on their website. So do yourselves a favor, go check out Into the AM if you want to upgrade your wardrobe and elevate your style just a little bit. They have basic tees for a lesser minimal look, and their graphic tees if you want to stand out. So click the link in the description for a 10% discount. They also have packs if you're planning on to buy a bunch and save more, as it stacks with my coupon code SBG. Go check it out, link in the description. And thank you, Into the AM, for sponsoring this video. I am gay.
Ooh, I'm pretty gay.
All right.
I'm fucking gay. I'm really homo. Ooh, I'm pretty gay.
I guess we're not leading. I guess we're not leading with that previous cold open. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Snark Tank Podcast. Welcome. I got to remember to do this because I forget for several episodes at a time. If you want to support the show and get early ad-free access to every episode, patreon.com/snarktank. I hate to do it early in the show, but I got to get it out of the way so we can peruse all the topics for today. And honestly, you know, there's not really
Housekeeping.
There's not. Oh yeah! By the way, I feel like this is something I should mention. Outside of the fact that we did do a Jax Films episode, which should be live by the time definitely by the time you hear this.
Yeah.
We also did an extra ammo, a deep a deep dive on the JF Garipe. Let's call it pre-true crime. Story. It's very interesting, but it's also I don't know how many people in the audience even know who this guy is. I assume some people do, but like he was pretty niche even. He was pretty niche even back then. So like, if you're interested in that, and you should be, because that story is wild. Go on over to the Patreon. You can listen to that. But outside of that, man, there's really nothing going on in the world at all. No news. Broke
nothing
whatsoever.
No breaking news.
Nothing
tragic.
Nothing tragic. Nothing on Twitter at all.
Nope.
You know, no live leak.
No conflict.
No conflict at all.
No conflicts.
Yeah. But if there was conflict, I would definitely want to know, you know, what XQC would say about it. I definitely would want to know what Rebecca what does Rebecca Black have to say?
What does Kai Cenat think about what's going on in Palestine?
Kai Cenat.
What is Kai Cenat's take?
I feel like he doesn't even know Palestine's a real place.
Do you think he has a take?
Do you think he
actually?
No
there's
way.
no way. There's no fucking way. I'm gonna look up every streamer. I'm gonna see what is every streamer. Fucking
look up Kai Cenat, Israel, Palestine.
Google what does every streamer think about Israel and Palestine?
Take on the fucking.
Can you imagine? EDP.
EDP has a very reasonable take too. It's like very reasonable. Like, what the fuck?
It's extremely reasonable, but then like there's clearly like some fucking girl tied up in the background. It's just like, it's like you can't even focus on what he's saying, because it's clearly there is something horrible is happening that he finally after 10 times of being fooled, he finally got one. He kept trying.
Oh man, this poor guy just wants to give his opinion on the Israel-Palestine conflict, and he's getting swindled out of his cupcakes.
Yeah. Or what if so the person that he actually captured was another decoy. He just actually successfully, captured the decoy, and this decoy's pleading that, like, please, this was a joke. This was another this was another. I got paid by a streamer. Please let me go. And he's like,
I can't believe that was his excuse.
I don't even know what to believe anymore. It seems
wait,
too...
was it something? Wait, did they reveal did the Gideon video finally come out? And he said that's what he said in it?
I actually don't know.
Well, I was looking it up at the time and nothing was out. And then the weird thing is I've heard nobody react to it. So now I'm even wondering, did something officially come out? I actually don't know.
I feel like that's way more important than whatever's going on in the Middle East.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like, what's EDP's story?
Yeah, what does
EDP think about this?
EDP
I wonder what EDP thinks about this.
I won't release it. Gideon will not upload the catch video.
What's the point then?
Yeah, I wonder why he says that. But there is it's a 2-minute explanation, I guess, of him saying why, but I'm still not even interested in watching that because
it's not a good reason. Whatever reason you have is dumb. That's Kino, man. That's fucking cinema. That's sitting.
It almost
behind in some fucking random guy's computer, and you're just not going to unleash it. You're gonna first of all, you're gonna tease it,
right,
and then not release it,
and then not do
Get
it.
Fucked.
What is the reasoning? Life seems so not real at this point to me, where I keep feeling I've said this multiple times on the podcast, but I feel that we are in some sort of Matrix style simulation, and the thing about simulations that they're supposed to be simulated, supposed to be realistic, at least as much as possible. And what it feels like is happening is, and I think I've said this before, that maybe our overlords, they spilled, whoever's watching the servers spilled some fucking soda on them or something, and they're real time, like, dude's cleaning it up right now and it needs some quick repairs, which is probably going to take like 30 minutes, but 30 minutes to them is hundreds of years. Who knows how much time it is. So the thing is that just seems so weird to me is there are things that are happening that seems like they should be so impossible, especially like the stupidity of people. Where when you think about things that you keep discovering, like, it's impossible someone should be this dumb when, I don't know, man, like, all the size of our brains. And that's why I've been so fascinated with, say, the JF thing. Because of I don't understand how this person doesn't see how guilty he appears to be. Even, let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's just say he did not murder his girlfriend.
Let's say he allegedly did not kill anybody.
Yeah, let's just say like he didn't do any. He did exactly what he said. He just dropped her off. Like, for guys, if you haven't checked out the extra ammo, I'll run through it in like a minute real quick. There's this white supremacist YouTuber that he likes to get around with mentally handicapped women. One of them had the mind of like an 11 or 12-year-old that he tried to impregnate, blah, blah, blah. He has, I think, dual citizenship. He's a French-Canadian, and I think he's studied. He got a degree, I think possibly a PhD in the United States. So he's like smart in a field. He's admitted, and I don't know if he was being jokingly or not, but he said he's autistic. So maybe
no, he is for certain.
He seems like he is. I'm just
for certain.
He seems like he is. The only reason why I say I wasn't sure if he was.
Wait, time out. What is autism signs exactly?
What do you think? So besides the internet signs, like there's sonic and then chronic use of the internet. But besides those two things. Like, the real thing is, feel like that most people...
the thing for me is that...
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's his turn.
Sorry to interrupt you. I like Sonic, right? I like Sonic, right? But I never looked up Sonic on the internet, right? And I think that's what spared me. That's all what spared me from it. Do you think exposure to Sonic makes people autistic, actually?
Yes, 100%.
That is true.
That is true.
That is
scientifically
fact. That is
true.
That is an impactable. That is empirical evidence that has been studied for since Sonic actually came out. But yeah. So that is
92.
That is.
That's why all that conflict is they don't have Sonic over there. And so they don't have any they don't have anything to obsess over that isn't genuine religious squabbles over Holy Lands. So
I feel
they don't have Sonic.
You're
and
right.
They would be a lot better off with Sonic. They would be a lot more.
No, they would
chill.
not. They'd be way more dangerous.
You know how there's missionaries that go over and try to spread the word of their respective religion or whatever. I feel like we probably need a
Sonic missionaries.
yeah.
Nah, man.
To spread. Hello, have you heard of the one and only true blue hedgehog, Sonic? Sonic.
I don't think that's
Sonic the hedgehog.
And then
Think of it like this, right?
These fucking dudes all dressed up like fucking, in their ninja gear with guns. And they're like, huh, what is this Sonic? What the?
Ninja gear.
What are you? I mean, let's be real. Where did they? What is the when you look at the should I even we don't need to say that specific terrorist organization, we don't need to say their name, but when you see terrorist organizations from that region, what do you think what is the inspiration for their gear, from their ensemble? I mean,
I always thought it was based on Aladdin.
It's based on the clothes they wear and the area they're in. You guys are cunts. Holy shit, dude.
I'm sorry.
That's so awesome.
What the hell are we talking about? We gotta spread the good word.
Oh my
we have to spread the good.
This is an absolute. We are merging so many things together right now.
I've said some fuck shit, Derek and Chris. Like, I've said fuck shit on this podcast, but that was just so. I'm not.
We're not
Middle
saying
Eastern
anything,
even remotely, slightly at all, and I took offense to that a little bit. You said it's based off Aladdin.
Right.
That's crazy.
So it wasn't Aladdin. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I mean, Jafar.
What makes it funny is that these is like one of the good people you don't make fun of like that because they get active. My favorite thing
about it is the idea that an entire religion would see a movie and be like, oh, let's do that. Like the order is reversed.
We're gonna need to fact check that because the thing is, and what I mean by that, I believe you.
Do we need to fact check whether or not the Islamic religion came before or after Aladdin?
What I want to do
story of Aladdin.
I want you to look at people in the certain region that have engaged in those type of acts. But pre-Aladdin, I want people to look at pictures of these people, and then look at pictures after Aladdin and see. Let's
Could you imagine you literally couldn't prove terrorism before Aladdin? Like, you couldn't prove there was you go back and you cannot catalog terrorism before Aladdin. Like, terrorism did not supersede Aladdin. Like, they made Aladdin.
I guarantee you.
And then afterwards, terrorism came into being.
If you look up the Mujahideen, right? The Mujahideen were technically warriors I think they were to disrupt Russia. I think they helped fight Georgia. If I'm getting this wrong, please correct me. I don't really give a shit. That's not the point of this. I'm just saying the Mujahideen. Apparently, the Mujahideen parts of it, Bin Laden, one of them, turned into, right? We know what they turned into. Now I ask you, when was the date that Bin Laden was officially labeled as a terrorist?
Christmas.
It was the date after Aladdin dropped.
The day after. Aladdin's Eve.
Could you imagine the day before? Can you imagine the day before they're wearing like Levi's and like Adidas, regular t-shirts, some fucking Dickies t-shirts. The next day they're dressed like they're going to slumber parties.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? So
Oh, look, man, I love this so much. You know why I love this so fucking much? Because of how, like, if you log on to the internet right now, if you log on to Twitter or something right now, and it doesn't matter what side you take or any type of, it does not matter. People are fucking set. People are upset.
Yeah.
And I just love that we
It's all jokes. It's all jokes. We're having fun here. We're not trying to rile nobody up. The internet's so annoying right now. People don't really. A lot of people who don't know enough about the situation are talking a lot about it.
Yes.
And I think we kind of are self-aware enough to know that we don't really know enough to talk about this shit in a serious capacity. What the fuck? Why would you want to hear our take on the fucking Israel-Palestine conflict?
That is
We are not valuable. We are not valuable voices at all. We can't change it. Oh, can you imagine if all of the strife and conflict in the Middle East, if there was a headline that said, "Oh, it was resolved." Because this really good episode of the Snark Tank podcast just really like. First of all, that would look really embarrassing for them that it took this to solve that whole thing. But
we got to do.
It's just fucking absurd.
We all got to wear hijabs, man. We got to wear hijabs for one episode.
No, what we got to do.
That's crazy.
That's taking a stance. So what we got to do is wear hijabs and a yarmulke over it.
I mean, I have a hijab, so I don't.
We gotta get Bradley Cooper from that movie to make an appearance.
I have a hijab on deck. So whenever you guys are ready, I'm not wearing my hijab. It's black and gold.
3 prosthetic
beautiful.
noses combined.
Never.
One thing I will say.
Why not?
Look, I don't know. I'll say this.
You're an expert.
I need to know if I'm gonna fight to the death for some place. There better be a Chili's. There better be a Chili's in that region. Because I'm not going to war for no.
We got really low standards.
What are you talking about? Chili's is the absolute highest tier of mid-quality food. If you don't have Chili's,
no, it's not.
Yes, it absolutely is.
No,
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Sweeney.
Chili's is A tier mid.
Let
me tell you this, Sweeney. Let me tell you this.
You're crazy.
Sweeney,
you're crazy.
Listen.
No, this is no better mid than Chili's.
Do you guys remember in the summer when the pandemic was lifted for like a week or two or something? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah. And then everything shut down again. So there was that brief moment where we legitimately thought it was over. Do you know where me and a ton of people went to go celebrate?
Chili's.
We were singing songs
because you guys have chimp taste buds.
They were singing.
You have low tier taste buds.
We were singing the Chili's song. We were singing.
You like Raising Cane's chicken, unironically. Shut the fuck up.
It's not bad. It's not my favorite.
It's
not my favorite chicken. It's not my favorite chicken.
+-year-old grandpa chicken. That's
it's
like
not my favorite chicken.
Fucking,
I'd rather cook
pepper
my
hurts
chicken.
their
yes.
fucking tongue kind of chicken.
Kingston,
you know what I mean?
You might as well be eating boiled whiteout if you're gonna be fucking eating Raising Cane's.
The fact that you're saying Chili's is mid is like that's giving Chili's so much respect.
You're crazy,
dude. The Chili's
what you call
actually
is better
chicken
than
strips
Chili's.
are actually kind of good, brother.
No, they're not.
Actually kind of good.
Stop.
No, they're 100 times better than Raising Cane's. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, a million percent.
Bro, no,
Raising Cane's has no fucking flavor, dude. The flavor's all in their stupid fucking sauce.
But Chili's just tastes like bread. Their nuggets, their chicken strips taste like bread, bro. It tastes like bread. It tastes like croutons, nigga. What are you talking about?
That's what Raising Cane's tastes like.
That's what I'm like. I'm tripping.
Raising Cane's doesn't have much flavor. I'll give it that. It doesn't have much flavor.
Oh, wait, no, I can't put a poll up because I don't think there's enough people that have had the chicken from Chili's because it's not their staple, right? It's all about their fucking ribs.
They don't eating poison. That's why.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
Dude, the Chili's baby back ribs.
They're really not that good, bro.
They're pretty good.
Really not that good.
It's not like a real barbecue,
it's not
but it's better than. Yeah, it's better than not having ribs. That's for damn sure.
What's the top tier of mid? I would guess maybe.
I think Chili's is actually a great fucking answer.
I would say Olive Garden.
You're fucking out of your mind.
First of all, top 10 minutes Olive Garden.
First of all, like that's kind of are we talking about like American food or are we talking about because
the top tier of like mid restaurants?
There's not enough because Olive Garden.
That's too broad. When I'm talking about Chili's, I'm talking about like Applebee's.
Yeah, like American diners.
You know, fucking like these types of places. TGI Fridays, like these types of these establishments. You cannot tell me that Chili's is not the king of those establishments.
Outback. No, Outback is Australian technically. Yeah, it's also Australian. I mean,
it's also
It's also very American food, but like it's Australian technically.
It's American. It's no Australian would go to Outback and be like, oh yeah,
let me guys rip on the barbie. Oh, I can't. Yeah,
but
can't.
Remember what I said, and I feel like it must be a curiosity thing. Where I went to the French restaurant and there was a fucking French family celebrating their birthday. And I look, why are you here? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, if that was a good French restaurant, they probably wanted French food.
Maybe it is actually a really good restaurant. And
I would imagine
because Jamaicans go to Jamaican food spots. Like we do.
I would imagine it's more out of curiosity, though, isn't it? Like that's kind of how I feel like when I go to pizza places out here. When I'm like, I'm curious. I have no expectation that it's going to be good, but I gotta know. And it's never really that.
Now
good.
there's a pizza out here. There's one good place out here. I stand by. I stand by Prime. Prime is very good.
Prime's not bad.
Prime's very good.
Prime is almost. It's Joe's at the top, and then it's Prime. But like, yeah.
I want y'all to have Rocco's out here.
I really want. Yeah.
I had Rocco's before.
When we go out to Vegas, I want to try it.
Very good.
I like it. I was like, I think these niggas will like this shit. All right.
I'm not like one of the anals about pizza. I think like I don't even complain. It's like complaining about like living in. It's like complaining about living in like an inner city and like there's nowhere to play baseball. It's like, well, yeah, there's buildings and concrete everywhere. You're not gonna be able to play baseball. Like I don't cry about it anymore. I'm like, whatever. When I go to New York, I enjoy my pizza when I'm in New York.
No one's crying about it. It's just like true. It's just like, yeah, okay, yeah. I've stopped expecting anything out of it.
But like, cause I don't know, man. I've grown.
The thing that bothers me is that people will like come up to me and like up to my face and be like, dude, I know you hate pizza out here, but you gotta check this place out. I had this guy yesterday come up to me like giving me advice. He was like, oh yeah, man, you gotta go to Big Nick's Pizzeria in San Pedro, because I was taking my parents down there to see a bunch of stuff, and I was like, okay, fine, sure, I'll give this place a try. And it was good, I guess, but it was good. It was like if Papa John's cared to make a good pizza, you know what I mean? It was that kind of pizza done really well. And that's good. Great for you. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the long, thin, crispy fucking slice.
Right.
Which is fine. I can find that. I finally, after many years out here, I found Prime and Joe's, and that's fine. I'm good. It's all relatively far away, but I can deal with that. Just don't come up to me and tell me like. At all. Well, Prime's next to us. How close is Prime to you?
Prime is like 10 minutes away from where I live.
What's the address?
The address of it? Where I live. Of Prime. Which one? Which one?
What's the latitude and longitude?
Oh, man.
How many seconds?
You almost got him.
I almost got him. He almost doxed himself on camera.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. I want to update you. Guys, I want to update you a little bit.
I have guns now, so I would like to go ahead. Show up, please. Please show up. It scared me.
Californian with some guns. Damn.
That's exciting. I know how to finally kill myself.
Scare me, please. Scare me. Frighten me, please.
If I showed up at your house, dressed in full clown attire, while you were asleep and jumped on your bed and started giggling like a madman, would you be able to kill me like quicker than you would be able to tell it was me?
I don't know. That's scary. That's a really scary place to be in, you know? Where like you react and you kill somebody and you're like, oh my god, it was my friend. God damn it.
It's like that Punk'd episode where Zach Braff beat up that little boy.
He started like shaking him like a fucking baby. He was like, yo, you little shit. And I was like, oh man, he's gonna kill him.
He was handling that kid like a little monkey handles like a rabbit.
You know what's
with
crazy?
Just complete disregard.
You know what's crazy though? I've also seen monkeys be way gentler with
That's the thing too.
I've seen the dichotomy of monkey. You know,
I think the thing is, it's like they don't know what anything is because they're stupid, primitive, useless animals, and so they'll oftentimes like cycle between like completely reasonless gentleness and completely reasonless just brutality.
Like I've seen monkeys treat dogs like pets. And I'm like,
but I've also seen a monkey hit a dog with a rock like 8 times, like in the stomach. I've also seen a monkey
hit a dog with a rock too, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's like they're confusing.
I've
I don't
seen
like monkeys
really.
Drag
kids. up and then let go of him. I'm like, why you did that? Like, why did you do that?
That monkey that steals the baby off the moped is one of my favorite videos ever.
What was he gonna do with that kid? What was he gonna do?
He was gonna sell him on the little
the little monkey black market.
The little monkey black market.
Yeah, the monkey black. Exactly that.
One monkey puts a baby on the table. Like, how much? Like, what?
That's crazy.
A human?
I mean, you don't know.
A human? You have a man cub?
It's probably there. You don't know. Don't act like it ain't there.
I can't stand monkeys, dude. One time, being around monkeys for at least a little bit makes you really hate them.
Yeah.
They're terrible. They're terrible creatures.
I don't recall ever being around a monkey.
Yeah, you do. But you don't want to say it. But
yeah,
yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you don't want to say it.
Yeah, I'm trying to hide my monkey.
You know what?
Escapades.
I've actually seen, now that I think about it, because I'm sure I've seen one of those. It's so funny because this is like this feels like a fictional thing, but I swear to God, I've seen it in real life. Those guys with the accordions and the little monkey on like the unicycle. I swear to God, I've seen that in person. I know that feels like a relic from like in cartoons from like a million fucking years ago, but I swear to God, I saw a monkey, like a tiny little monkey in a vest, in at least 2003. I think. I'm pretty confident. With like a little music box.
I mean, it could be like the last one, the last remaining.
One.
Yeah, he was
the last remaining. The final monkey.
They should make that movie. It's like The Last of the Mohicans, but with the last of one of these guys.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
I've seen monkeys in the Caribbean. I went to like St. Kitts one time, and a monkey like attacked my grandma. My grandmother hit it with a frying pan and threw it out. And I was like, yo.
That's crazy. Frying pans are amazing weapons, by the way. Left 4 Dead 2 taught me that.
The sound.
Man, I saw an old guy beat the shit out of a crocodile with one.
That fat dude, was that picture that portly fella?
Not that shit. No, he doesn't even have a fucking frying pan.
Exactly.
But
He's raw.
What is up with that shit, man?
He was eating with the fry alligator. I said fry alligator almost like a Pokemon. It's crazy. But he was eating with it. Then I guess an argument broke out between him and it, and he showed it who's boss.
Because I'm sure this is AI. How did this come about?
What are you talking about?
So, have you seen any of those photos of that big black dude, big belly? He's got cargo camo shorts on, and he has a box of pizza, and he's fighting alligators. He's fighting gators with one of them.
It's definitely AI.
It's like, but it's. It became like huge to the point there's so many scenarios of them now. The last picture I saw of them was the gator and that dude shaking hands. They put their differences aside.
I saw that one too. Yeah, that's the first one I saw. Yeah, they shook hands
like,
finally.
All right, that's enough of this. We're gonna do this
anymore.
They shook hands.
I like that you said shoats. He put out his little shoats.
It's AI's getting pretty funny. Have you seen, I don't know if this is true, people were saying that you can no longer, because Bing uses a specific AI, and so people are actually starting to use Bing now. And people were, for whatever reason, they were putting Drake in multiple scenarios to the point where I guess you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, they banned Drake as a prompt. I saw so many. I saw him running from like a chupacabra in the woods, and then I saw him like
that is so bananas,
dude. And then I saw something about like him being like this Akira type blob.
I didn't see that. Did you see that? You didn't see that? Oh man, I've seen a lot of them though. My two favorites. One I just posted where he's eating some like AI chicken nuggets. They look like chicken McNuggets, and he is hysterically crying. It is.
I saw
so
that one that Derek posted.
Funny. I just posted that one.
I saw that.
And,
I was like,
did you see the one that Wang posted?
No.
It's fucking. It's. There's a little Asian girl crying on the street, and Drake is bent down next to her, making the fucking racist eyes.
I saw that one. I did see that one. I did see that.
I did not see that one at all. Jesus Christ.
It's so the amount of things that people were doing. I'm like, okay, I get why they banned it. I get. Now they're just gonna latch onto somebody else.
Dude, there's a lot of weird. Like, look, I don't.
The idea of Drake doing that to little girls crazy to me, dude.
The implications of AI art is very. They're all very concerning. However, some of the images I can't deny, and it's not really so much the images themselves so much as the idea. So it's still very human. It's still very much like the idea that somebody put into a prompt, Drake making racist eyes at crying Asian girl, and that it was willing to do that. The premise is what's funny. It's not necessarily so much that an image exists, although it does help. It's really just the fact that somebody came up with that. But right. I love my favorite ones that I've seen as of late have been Shrek in Vietnam. Have you seen these?
Not at all.
Where it's Shrek crawling through bloody woodland debris with it's really fucking distressing. But there's like a lot of Shrek.
Shrek crawling over fucking his friends' dead bodies. And
Dude,
awesome. Crying about it.
This is what really I like about AI.
Disturbing.
This is exactly
AI
what...
is like... This is
all I want to use
also
it for.
Like, so what? Fuck it, whatever, dude. Like, it's on its way. It's here. Whatever.
Yeah, no, you have to embrace it. It's like anything. I heard somebody make a really interesting point about it, because one of the reasons why a lot of people are upset or afraid of it, or no, afraid's the wrong word. They don't like it because it threatens some people's jobs, especially in the art.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Artists.
It's going to ruin a lot of things, for sure.
Absolutely. But somebody made a point, and undeniably, I agree, even though it's not nice to say, but it's the same as when, say, an obvious example, cars. When cars started phasing out any other modes of transportation, especially when it came to horses, which was the main modes of transportation back in the day, where it put a lot of people out of business, because that was it was one of those things where it's like, of course people were upset at the time, of course, but it's an inevitability. And that's the unfortunate thing about AI, that it's going to mess with a lot of things that we appreciate right now. And I was like, fuck, yeah, they're right. The
reality is that AI is a tool. And I think of it almost like a gun, you know what I mean? Where it's like there are places and times and appropriate times to use a gun, and then there are places that are deeply, deeply inappropriate, and
like
those deeply inappropriate uses are going to hurt many, many people.
Yeah.
But they're here.
Nurseries.
You know what I mean? You can't just like snap your fingers and wish it away. It is here. We're gonna have to deal with it. Hopefully, like my silver lining kind of optimism about it is that this puts so many people out of work that it's kind of forced. It kind of forces us to reevaluate like things like UBI and stuff like that, and just be like, oh man, well, look, man, there's a lot of people willing to work and no fucking jobs for them to do anymore because robots are doing everything. How are we gonna how do we? Yeah. How do we adjust to this new... That's like the best that you can hope for, really, is that like we just kind of understand intrinsically that like we have to just kind of take care of the universal whether or not that's possible. Whether or not that'll happen is like,
yeah, who knows?
I think it'll happen. I think we just don't... We don't fight hard for the things we should fight for as people now. We kind of lost the plot of like, this is important, let's stand up for it. We're like, let's get mad and let's all watch HQC stream instead of like, let's get mad. Let's
XQC's catching a lot of strays today.
He is.
He sounds stupid. I don't like him, bro.
Is that video? So I know one of the thumbnails I've seen is definitely fake of Charlie.
Oh, Charlie?
Yeah.
What?
The screenshot that you're Charlie being like there was like a fake Charlie video that said some major Middle East drama just dropped or something
like that. Yeah. It looks like he dropped like a 17-18 minute video talking about the conflict. And
I wish.
But there is one thing that I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't verify it, but XQC saying that I like learned about the conflict so you don't have to or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's real. That's a real video.
So that's actually real.
That's actually real.
Oh my god. Well, yeah.
I would love to hear him explain it.
I kind of do actually want to watch that.
Not
though,
even
to be honest.
Like criticize him. I just want to see what he thinks. He's Canadian. Canadians usually have the worst takes about everything. Like
they do, dude. So many
people, they really have
so many
horrible political takes.
So many grifter political folks are literally just Canadians, and it's very bizarre. They're like really obsessed about American politics, and they're these like weird Canadians that have no. Nothing is going to impact them at all. It's very bizarre.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Canada sucks, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Like you're the worst.
Canada's not the worst, but like shut the fuck up. Like, shut.
I mean, they got
you
some,
guys
they got
are
some
still-
weirdos there for
we
sure.
put fucking chili. We put fucking fries in a bowl. Get fucked,
Bro, they
Fries in a
just
bowl.
finished killing Native Americans. That's how behind they are, bro.
They just
They just finished doing
They
that,
just
dog. Like, come on, bro.
They just got
We
them
did
all.
that shit hundreds of years ago. They just did that shit.
They're doing. I mean, they've been. Let's be real fair. They've been doing all right. They're just people are starting to like find out that there's a few left over that they're like, ah, shit. But they did all right. They found mass graves and stuff. They've done. They're not as bad as you think, man. You got to give
Nah,
a
they
little
suck.
bit of a.
They're stupid.
It's fun.
You ever heard I've been preach talk, bro?
No.
I've
Those
heard
niggas, the shit they're talking about, goes over their head. The shit that they're speaking currently about.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
like, yo, y'all are stupid. Y'all are
Look,
dumb.
man, you want to talk about that's the whole thing about. I mean, that's where JF is from. He's from Canada. Like that is
Canadians
just to
are
let
just,
you
bro,
know.
they're a different breed.
This guy, and then if I watch a lot of true crime podcast stuff, I haven't been watching recently, but when I get on my binges or whatever, there are a stupid amount of cases that are in Canada. There is an unusual amount of
Those
them
niggas
that are
believe
just,
it. Like, I didn't kill somebody. Okay, I guess. That's it.
they're
Okay.
they're so I don't understand, and I got so there's some people that are probably going to be some people that are probably on the spectrum that I was about to start combing through like who JF is just a little bit for a little bit of context, and I didn't finish, and I imagine that is really irritating because it's what the fuck are you like? Whoa. So real quick, JF, white supremacist streamer. You may not have heard of him, but he also, if you're aware of the commentary side of YouTube, you might have ran into him because he was streaming with Andy Worski. If you know who we are, there's a chance you know who Andy Worski is, right? So they were making that sweet white supremacist money. So all we're going to do is fast forward. This guy is autistic and French, goes hand in hand. And he started dating these mentally challenged girls. Dated one that they called Mama JF, she is not well. All of a sudden, fast forward to just a little while ago, it turns out Mama JF is missing, right? She's been missing for a while. 4 months. She's been missing since June. And he said he didn't say nothing. And his story, it keeps bouncing around about saying she is resourceful. She is like a 007. She is really good at traveling. And I dropped her off at a gas station and she went on a trip. That's his thing. He just said he dropped her off and she's now doing her thing. But then at the same time, he says, well, she's been planning this for a long time. But then at the same time, she kind of left miraculously. She did this before, and I wasn't sure if she was going to come back or not. And I was like, wait, so which one was it? He also cleaned his apartment completely sterilized his apartment, changed all of the plastering, walls, cleaned everything out. So it sounds like he was sure that she was never coming back. But then he also says, I'm not sure if she's coming back or not. And it is crazy. I'm not going to go through all of it, guys. There's plenty of streams and people talking about it that if you're really interested in it, we also talked about it in our deep dive in Extra Ammo, like Chris mentioned at the top of the show. But I cannot, and this stems to me saying we're in a simulation, I cannot accept what this guy's doing as it is top. It is what is above S tier? Is anything above S tier?
It's zero to S tier.
There's nothing stupider that I cannot believe what he's doing. I can't believe what he's doing. He's been on multiple streams, and every stream that he goes on, he has like a different version of something that happened, and I don't understand. If he has a lawyer, I don't know anything about this guy, like his background, but if he has a lawyer, this lawyer probably killed himself.
That guy is overworked. That buddy's overworked.
And he didn't just drop him as a client. I think he just I think he just offed it. Like he was like, this is too much. I can't deal with this anymore. As a legal advisor, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I just don't want to be alive anymore. And then he's just killed himself.
Tired. The poor guy's just he's just sitting there
he's just, I can't handle this, bro. That's why I felt like saying, imagine Trump's lawyers, all right? But now imagine Trump's lawyers times 1,000. Because that's basically what it is. Because Trump does a bunch of shit where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. Stop doing this. Please stop.
I used to think that about
stop.
Trump, and then I was like, nah, he don't care. He don't care. I don't think he cares. Because I think his his behavior has only gotten him further in life.
Can you guys do me a favor and click the link I sent you in the chat?
What you got?
I just got a little something.
Oh no, you found something weird.
Oh my fucking god, he's crying. He's crying. I feel so bad. He's crying, dude.
Dude, it took me a while to find it too. I was like scouring. I was scouring. For this.
Yeah. I saw that you were pretty. Ew. If you scroll down, do you see the next one?
Oh, do you?
The Mario running?
No. Okay, the one that's showing up for me is he's just shitting everywhere.
Oh yeah. It's him shitting all over.
Wait, where is that? Where is that one?
It's just in the replies. I just scroll down.
You scroll all the way down and you'll see it. It's him screaming and shitting.
What the fuck?
That's what happens, man. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, dude,
it's just what happens. Sometimes that happens. I've never just shat like that in my life. Am I weird?
You've never shat all over your legs and screamed while hunched over like a dog.
Diarrhea.
I've definitely laid down, got really upset, cried, and shat myself. But like, never like that.
How many months ago was this?
Yeah, how many days ago?
Don't worry about it. Definitely recent. Definitely less than a moon ago.
You know what I've been
less than 1 moon ago.
You know what I've been wanting to find? There's this picture that you liked for, I don't remember why, but it was like, I think you see like some chick's legs and like her like nails or some shit, and then people were saying it was you. Like it was, I don't know if you remember this shit.
It's me.
There's this picture that I've been wanting to find for, because this was, I don't remember when this was, but like for whatever reason you liked it for, I don't know, some comedic purposes, and then it shows up on people's feeds, and people were like, they saw it because it shows up in the news feeds, and the people were asking if it was you. Like,
me directly?
It was clearly some black lady's like like her nails or something.
I remember that.
But
I remember that.
I was like, how the fuck do I find this? I want to find it so badly.
There was this thing. So yesterday I was talking about Dragon Ball Z on Twitter, and Chris tweeted at me, "You're gay," right? So then I tweeted under him, "You," and it's this video that looks like Mr. Beast is beating off just out of camera.
I thought that's what that was. I was so confused. I was so
fucking funny.
Part of me looked at that and was like, "Is that Mr. Beast?" I couldn't quite tell.
It's so funny because he's just out of camera, and I'm like, what is he doing over there?
What were you tweeting about Dragon Ball anyway? Why were you?
Yeah, what about Dragon Ball now?
I was talking about Dragon Ball because we're just having people, we are nerds and anime fans, just going to arguments about stupid shit that isn't real. Isn't real, the usual.
I can't imagine people fighting over shit that isn't real.
Stop. That is real.
Head trauma. I'm a fucking.
Did you say head trauma?
Yeah. Head trauma.
Isn't that
head trauma?
That's good. That bothers me.
Trauma. Head trauma.
Head trauma.
That hits close to home because Goku does have head trauma.
For sure. Yeah, does. Literally. That's what it translates to, I think.
Goku
Do we have
have brain damage.
Damn. Has anybody made an animated short of what happened if he didn't hit his head?
He would just destroy the planet. Destroy the planet.
Yeah, that was like one of the more famous things that I think I've seen.
Was like
what if Goku didn't hit it? Or I think it was like, what if Vegeta and Goku swapped? So Vegeta was like the good guy, and Goku came with his brother and all that stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I imagine so. I've never seen it personally.
If Goku never hit his head, he would have just went to Earth. Well, no, he wasn't strong enough as a baby. So maybe Grandpa Gohan would have probably been able to kill him if he would have kept growing up brutally. But if Grandpa Gohan was dead, also Roshi would have too.
I feel like he would have just ate him. Like Grandpa would have been like, "Hey, this fucking thing sucks. Let's eat it." And then
he would have put his whole arm in his mouth and sucked it out, and then it would just be bones.
Grandpa Gohan would have just went up to him, ripped his face clean off like brutally, yanked it off, and then ate it.
Ew, gross.
Just like real calm, like he's like, "Oh, look at that!" Walks over to it, ripped his face off, and everybody's like,
and then credits.
And then Roshi's like, "Yo, that was a kid. I know. You want to fuck him after I'm done?" and then it would have been an episode. That would have been it. That would have just been it. Like, whoa.
Like, wow, that's
this is a different show. We're lucky Goku's good. Lucky Goku's good. He would have got a fucking show. 8.
Oh, look, I just saw, I never used that For You page, but it defaulted when I just checked on mobile or not mobile, the desktop. And it shows you replying to, what's her name, Just Pearly Things, where she said, thin women are hotter than curvy women. I'm just like, her fucking, her.
I hope that bitch gets slapped like a lot.
Her
like, I hope somebody slaps the fuck out of her. Like, I hope somebody beats her.
There is something that compels me that I want to, like, when you look at her, I want to shake her. I don't know, like, I have this weird feeling that I want to, like, you know, like, there's a GIF. This is the best way I can describe this. There's a GIF of from the cartoon Mega Man show, and
when he pushes
Dr. Light is possessed, right? And yeah, when he just pushes, like, just throws her down. And I have this weird compulsion where, like, I want to just push her.
She's a very pushable person.
She really is.
I don't know, man. She's just bizarre. I know it's a grift. I get it. I get it's all engagement and all that stuff, but it's just like,
I don't like that bitch.
But she's just such a weird. It's just such a weird. Yeah, she's not convincing at it. Nobody likes her, even in her own, like, sphere. I don't think she's really respected at all.
She's not
like,
at all. She's not.
I don't understand what the point is.
I don't like her. her. She makes me mad. She has a vagina and, like, she says dumb things about other vagina havers, and that makes me upset because my daughter's gonna have a vagina, and that makes me upset that she's gonna have to deal with people like her. You know,
right? I saw that documentary that I think it was Jay Aubrey did. I'm pretty sure it was Jay Aubrey.
Yeah, it was Jay Aubrey.
It confirmed what a lot of people speculated, because I didn't care to look into her. So luckily he did the work. Great job.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's exactly low self-esteem, just anything, that humiliation, almost like a humiliation fetish at this point, because it's the worst grifting out of any of the grifters. It's not, you know, there's standard grifting, like what's her name, Candace Owens, where she does it convincingly enough to where people kind of forgot that she was a grifter, like they think like she just kind of fit in.
It's crazy.
And then there's like shitty grifting, like the quartering, to the point where he's fine with grifting, but at the same time I think he doesn't fully understand what he's doing. Like, he just took there's a Nazi book publisher called him.
I saw that.
And he had no idea that he took a sponsorship from them, from Antelope Hill. They're literally, you know.
Yeah, it's marketed as like this. So hold on. Let me paint the story a little bit. So it's a website that specializes in selling banned books, basically, or like controversial material is what they refer to it, right? But the issue is it's all just right way. It's all Nazi shit. Yeah. Like, it's not. You're not finding like the Communist Manifesto, which is also very controversial. You're not finding like Marxist literature or anything like that, or any other. It's just Nazi stuff.
It's just fascist material.
Yeah.
Is this Nazi lit? That's it? Is this a bunch of Nazi lit?
It's literally just just Nazi stuff, and which is unfortunate, because the premise of having an online retailer that specifically deals in controversial material only is actually a good idea.
Yeah,
it's wasted. It's completely wasted.
Like things that would be banned or book burned, you know, metaphorically book burned, that people don't want you to read, or stuff like important stuff in history. But like Chris said, and then
that's really
if
stupid.
You looked at their social media, there was a, because I actually started looking at social media, and there's just birthday shout out. You can get a discount code on Hitler's birthday. Like, it's our boy's birthday. It's like that type of dumb shit that they're posting.
Yeah.
And then if you look into the people that started it, they have a whole line of a whole footprint of that. Yeah, they're just racist, and
it's obvious.
It's one of the things where Cory didn't do like 2 seconds of research. We're just like, let me look into these people. Let me just. It didn't matter to him.
Or he did and didn't care because he understands.
I don't think he's that smart. I really don't. I think he's
that smart.
I really don't.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
he's a good business person, and like he has a successful coffee company, and he obviously his YouTube channel's growing and all this shit. Like he knows what to do. He knows what people to reach. But as far as like, if you can be an idiot and amass an audience and actually run businesses okay, even if, you know what I'm saying. But the finer things...
I know firsthand that you can be an idiot and amass an audience.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, shout out to me.
Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro.
I mean, right?
It's
not that. It's just if you have drive, and power, and
if you're hungry,
and if you devour, you're gonna get what you need. And
it's about dick. It's about dick. It's about dick. It's
all
about
right,
dick.
let's just get to.
It's about dick. It's about penis. Men are from Mars, but not from Venus.
All right, let's get to some
shout out to Derek too, bro. Shout out Derek.
I'm still afraid I'm getting killed by the Rock, dude. I'm still looking behind my
shoulder. He's gonna be like,
you.
wow. He's gonna do the whole thing. Wow, you're Derek, right?
He's gonna kill you.
He's gonna grab you, put you above his head, rip you in half, and before you die, you're gonna say Obama.
My last words will be Obama 1,000%.
He's gonna kill you in the only way the Rock knows how. He's gonna use his special ability where he hits you with a big rock.
his special ability,
bro.
Yeah, that's why that's his name.
You don't like it? I like it. He gets the rock, like, he reaches into his inventory, he presses right D-pad, and then it equips the rock, like, out of nowhere. Like,
how in video games, if you're like the Hulk or something, you could pick up a rock out of the ground even if you're in the top floor of like a glass. It's like that, where he'll like just reach down into the ground, pull out, even if you are on like an iceberg, he will reach into the ground and pull out. He'll pull out stone and pummel you to death with it. That's what it'll do.
I love the idea of the Rock hitting you in the head with a rock, and there's just a huge wet mark on the rock afterwards. Like, the rock just got a big wet spot on it because of your blood. It's wet.
I love
someone poured water on the rock.
I love it. I'm just picturing, the hyper combo, the gamma wave, the Hulk. I'm just picturing that. So sick.
Yo, Hulk was wild. Look, Hulk was bugging in that game so much. He jumped into space and got a meteor, bro.
And then he gets a meteor.
He was wilding in that game, crazy.
Did you guys play?
He was Sonic clapping you. He was donkey kicking you. He was just going nuts.
He's sick, dude. I fucking love him in that.
Did you guys ever play The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction?
Of course.
I didn't play it.
But of
Ultimate
course.
Destruction was fucking sick. If you've ever played Prototype, it was basically that. I think it was the same. I think it was the same studio, but with the Hulk. So instead of like, whatever Prototype was, it was the Hulk, and you were just going around smashing shit. You could pick up buses and wear them as gloves.
Yes, that's awesome.
And just beat up everything around. It was so fucking sick.
When are we getting
great game.
Prototype remastered?
Let's rock.
When are we getting that shit?
I don't know, man. We need more Prototype for sure.
I don't think we're going to get any time. I know we're getting the Infamous remake.
We need a Prototype live action movie that goes into the deep lore of Alex Mercer and his quest for the prototype. I don't remember what the fucking story was.
The
story is stupid as shit. So
it
you're
sounds
the prototype.
too like he's a secret agent. I hate
you're
that
name.
You're
the prototype. That's it.
Like it's one of those names. I'm Alex Mercer, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
It is very much like
Mercer's
the name.
An overly badass name.
Yeah,
it's so badass that it's unbelievable that anybody would be named that.
Right, and it's like not him. He wasn't special before he got the mutation shit.
He was a scientist.
He wasn't. But that's what I mean. Like, he wasn't like, say, Sam Fisher. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like Alex. That's that type of name, Alex Mercer. And I'm like, that's not what you name some fucking nerd. Like, get the fuck out of here. His name should have been Mercer. Simon Miller or something. I
also have a hoodie on, and I wear a jacket over my hoodie.
It was so fucking. I don't know, man. I don't care.
I love that game.
That was so cool.
Fun.
Prototype is awesome for like a multitude of reasons, but that was my ultimate. I'm convinced Prototype probably. Oh man, I should be careful when I say this. I'll put it this way. I think there are shootings that did not happen because of Prototype.
Yeah, definitely. Those kind of games saved lives, for sure.
Absolutely. That game was such a blow-off steam game for me that I can't even tell you. Like, I love that game. Was like therapy for me.
Wait, so did it stop your shooting? Time out.
That's 100%. 100%.
That's why I was a little bit,
I came into school every single day.
With the fucking ratchet, bro.
Honestly,
with the Ruger. He had a Ruger in his pocket, dude.
People talk. Oh my god, this reminds me. First of all, I find it bizarre. Like, high school was actually pretty fun for me. Like, I was fine having a good time.
Was fun. Yeah,
but
good time.
This reminds me of that story. Have you seen this? So this guy, he's on YouTube and he does these mental health things, right? He's like a mental health, not guru or so, but he focuses on mental health concentration. I'm not going to name him because I don't really remember his name, first off, and also I don't want to attract the ire of this guy. But so there's this guy, he's like a really nice guy. He has this whole story about how he came onto TikTok, right? How he
was a shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
I saw
a shooter.
That thing. Horrible,
and he
most
went
horrible
into
shit
school.
ever. Most horrible shit ever. That
he
shit made
went
me
into
cry.
school. He went to school with a gun, and he was like, and in the video on TikTok, he served prison time like for like many years.
Right.
And so he's back on, and he's now doing like social media, and he's like, doing the good person bit, which like, I don't know how I don't know if that's real or not. I fucking have no idea. It could be totally legit, whatever. But like in the video, he goes, yeah, like. I was just so angry, and I went into school with a gun. I didn't want to kill anybody. I just wanted to die. So the idea was that he wanted to pose a threat to the school so the cops would kill him. But he was like wrestled by like faculty or whatever.
Right.
But like, there's like news reports about how he didn't kill. I don't think he killed anybody, but he shot a guy.
Did he? I thought he shot up at the...
So what happened is, afterwards, after he was released, a black person came after him, and I think he did kill people. I could be wrong. I think he did kill people. And
I didn't hear that at all. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
A guy, this is real. That guy that was on TikTok. I saw it. Some guy tried to kill him because he was a school shooter. And what happened is that the guy that tried to kill him got arrested and got more time than he did for shooting up a school. Actually, not kidding. The guy that tried to shoot him.
But that was
you're trying to say in relation to the actual incident.
Yeah, that was the guy that shot up a school.
Well, the point is like that's the thing. It's like he didn't massacre like a bunch of people. He didn't kill anybody. He shot
he didn't massacre
one guy.
A bunch of people.
So one person got shot.
If you I
know what happened.
School,
No, one person got shot because the gun went off and hit the dude in the leg.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly
what happened.
this.
I remember that. Right. I remember that now.
Yeah. But so now this dude's just on. It's so weird because he's just on TikTok now, and I don't know what to make of that really.
You know what? So I here's the thing. I feel like there's plenty of people. I know someone personally that went to jail for 11 years for attempted murder, and he turned his life around. I know it is possible for people to rehabilitate themselves.
I know too many people like that, unfortunately.
Right, and so it is possible. But this guy, though, and the way that he's going about it, like being on TikTok, not like, because there's plenty of people who go to seminars, they work with organizations, and they give speeches, they go to places, they do the real work. They don't fucking get on TikTok and be like, look at me. And here's another thing that really kind of made me, that 1,000% turned me off of this dude. Where he was trying to say like, it was one of those things where it's like, there's racism against whites too, and then he talks about this story of like this black dude with a sword that attacked him.
Like he had a sword. That's what it was.
So
yes,
that was the same guy. I thought maybe you're talking about that guy. But he shows these cuts on his arm. I'm laughing because just thinking of this dude trying to get him with a sword.
Yo, wait,
is that
Kenshi?
Some black Kenshi, the same red rag on his eyes too. He's like, I can't see. If I can see him, I'll get too angry.
Do you guys remember, Kingston? Do you remember that story in
so
like
awesome.
2016?
The guy with the sword that sworded the
guy
dude?
with the sword. Yeah. I remember that so well because I think of the meme that we shot where like I was swinging the sword and I was like, white supremacist.
Dude, remember during COVID when there was this white guy like talking, he was like, it doesn't matter what skin color you are. We're all N-words. And then they hoarded him and they attacked him. Some fat white guy.
That
and
is
he was like, it doesn't
totally
matter.
Forgot.
We're all N-words. And then what happened is the whole crowd, it looked like World War Z. They just all
funny.
Him. Then there was some guy with a bow and arrow during COVID too. Well, I don't know if he was the same guy or not.
That's right. We did that. We talked about that story and that somebody in our audience animated it with Legos.
Was it?
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was the Lego. That was the Lego, or not the Lego. Was it? It was like action figure stop motion animation about the guy being using the bow and arrow.
Dude, the animated people were on fucking fire back then. What?
Yeah.
We that actually kind of just made me realize how. Yeah, that was like a man. Man, I really want to appeal to these motherfuckers because that was so fucking cool.
Shout out to animators in general.
That was cool. Yeah, animators are awesome.
Big fucking shout out. And that's the thing. Oh, you know what? And that's actually a good point of the finding these people and asking them if we could also share their work on our social medias. So we can kind of like maybe get that whole like a new renaissance of that shit, man. Because
that shit was crazy. Did we because I saw that all right, whatever. Shut the fuck. You suck. Let's move on. Let's get to some questions. All right.
So yeah.
We good? I tried to do this like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's good. I'm putting that on a shirt. I'm putting that's going to be one of our new merches for you.
Shout out to everybody that's not
Tom
women.
Sweeney under it. Go ahead.
Fire.
Mojave Scribe wrote in. He says, returning patron and previous question asker here. I had to cancel my Patreon to you gaggle of ethnics after my job shut down because the chief financial officer fucking killed himself by jumping off a New York skyscraper.
Yo, oh, wow,
that's fucking dope.
That is crazy.
In Puerto Rico.
That's sick.
Did you love or hate? Were you happy? I mean, well, you were probably mad about the job.
So he said. So imagine my surprise when these newer episodes have ads for my old company, Bed Bath and Beyond. Good to be back. Sorry for the non-question. Totally worth it, man.
We're glad to have you, bud.
That's excellent. That is excellent.
How real is it? Bed Bath and Beyond, New NYC, I don't know, suicide?
Yeah. I feel like Bezos did something.
What the hell? Yeah, it's real. Wow, look at that from the Tribeca building.
I paid
the Jenga tower. That's the
Jenga
Jenga tower one.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
I love it, bro. I mean, I don't love that he died, but like I love that.
That is a crazy building to jump from, man. Because you don't even know if you're gonna make it to the end. You don't know if you're gonna hit one of those weird jaggy bits. Holy shit! That's the reason nobody's ever jumped off the Empire State Building. I'm pretty sure because you just wouldn't reach the floor.
Yeah,
no, you can do it. You gotta have conviction though. We gotta have a baggy shirt. You gotta have a baggy shirt and baggy pants.
So you can glide a little bit.
And what you do is you try to float and then land on a building. you try to make it so you land on a building like Batman. And they're like
fucking Infamous
Batman, yeah.
With that weird hover animation.
I was gonna kill myself, but I decided not to. I had enough time to figure out I didn't want to anymore.
That's what happens to most people in the middle of a jump. To be fair,
I made a mistake, but. Yeah,
it's almost instant. It's so funny.
My day that bad and then black.
Yeah, I mean it's not funny, but like
that's why you should
it's morbid.
3 stories maximum because you might survive. So just
you get like 5 stories.
That is way less likely.
It's less likely.
That's why I'm saying 3 stories is that good medium where there is a high probability that you will die, but then there's also a pretty decent probability that you will survive.
Hey, do not jump off buildings if you're listening to this.
Because I've jumped from 20 feet and it hurts really bad.
You don't want to give advice.
Well, I'm not saying don't jump. I'm just saying if you were already planning on it. I'm just trying to give you some fucking advice, homie. I'm not saying don't jump. I'm not saying
don't jump, bro. Jump.
Fucking so stupid. All right. Oh, my God.
If you're a CEO and if you're planning on jumping, here's what you do.
I'm not saying don't jump. I'm just saying jump, bro. Stop being pussy.
Download your consciousness into the hard drive.
I mean, it's like Bender. I think somebody was what was it? Oh, it was Hermes. Hermes was gonna on the edge of a building. He's like, do a flip, and I always thought that is the correct answer. You tell motherfuckers because that's the way to go out. You do some sick ass thing. You stick the landing, but you explode your legs though.
He lands and he turns into E.T. Remember that joke we said before where he lands for a moment and for a whole frame he's E.T. the extraterrestrial?
I think that's actually animated too. I think that might have been like Porktopus or something.
Yeah. I think so too.
Hits the floor.
God, Porktopus is
Where is Porktopus?
I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I
haven't seen him in a while.
Fucking nigga in a minute.
All right, let's move. Let's get on to what is this? What? Mr. Hot Salsa Road? And he says, "Hello, my favorite Three Musketeers. What are some of your favorite horror movies?" Also, fun fact: the guy that sang the Grinch song voiced Tony the Tiger in the commercials.
Oh wow!
I'll choose to believe that. Whatever. That sounds like they're Grinch.
They're gay.
Frosted Flakes.
They're Grinch.
I'll make those niggas pay.
I don't know, man. I'm a big Evil Dead guy personally. I love those movies.
Evil Dead 2 is pretty fire.
Especially 2. 2 I think is like a perfect
masterpiece. Yeah.
Perfect movie. Horror movies don't really do much for me because they don't scare me. So like ones that I can have fun in are usually the ones that I'm gonna love more.
I agree.
Evil Dead is usually top of those because everything else is either too. I don't know, man. Like I never got into the Freddy Kruegers or the Jason movies. Like they didn't do anything for me.
We were born after. Well, during that time, they were like very much so big hits. Because my sister is 12 years older than me, so she was around when they were like coming out. Like they weren't not the first one, but some of the other ones, and she loves those movies.
I like them because they're retarded. I like them for that reason. I don't like serious. If anything that's trying to take itself seriously, I don't like at all. And
Final Destination is another one that's I love. Final Destination.
Final Destination was Ebon's World, the movies, and I loved it.
It was
the way I would laugh at those movies. My grandmother would look at me with fear sometimes. She's like, "He's laughing way too hard at this."
Final Destination reminds me of those. I don't know if you guys saw this trending on Twitter because Twitter's just become like an absolute cesspool lately. But like I saw this. It's like an animated recreation of like a bunch of Chinese workplace accidents. Have you seen that?
No. Can you send me
so
the link, please?
It's not.
Please.
I don't know. It's all a bunch of like animated videos of like 3D ragdolls dying in like workplaces, and I'm like, I see them and I'm like, I know this is based on. I've seen these videos because the camera's in the same place and like it's even got the Chinese text over it. It's so insane.
I love when
but that's what those movies were basically.
There was a meme where which was like when you're an Asian man inside of a smoke factory and you look up to the side and it just says live leak and he starts sweating and I was like, damn, dude. You're gonna get killed in a very grotesque manner very soon, bud. Damn. Shout out to Live Leak.
Yeah.
Shout out to Live Leak.
I miss it, dude.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I know you do.
I do miss.
I know
I
you
miss.
do.
I miss when it was a place that you had to go and not something that just infected Twitter.
I miss Live Leak. That shit was
that.
fire.
I do miss that. I do think we lost something in taking everything and just putting it in the same place. I do think it was better when we kind of had to go certain places for certain things, in some respect.
Right.
But that's not the world we're living in no more.
It was so dope, bro.
Alas.
I do not
morbid
care.
murder.
I do not care. Bloodzar wrote in. He goes, "Hey, Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, and New Goblin." That's mean. What's the weirdest way
bro.
New Goblin sucks.
He
That's
sucks
definitely
so
me.
Bad. It's
definitely me in this equation. No,
I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're like Hobgoblin. I think because New Goblin is so clear. It's just a white. It's just literally just a white guy with short brown hair and on a fucking snowboard. You know, like it's he sucks so much. It's not even a goblin. He's just a guy. Like, why is he even called the Goblin at all?
He's Dude 4.
Harry Osborn really is just the dude. The guy. So dumb.
Guy 3 enters center
fucking
stage.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Bloodzar wrote and he says, "Hey Green, hey several goblins. What's the weirdest way? What's the weirdest way you found out about a very popular character / series? I saw someone say they found out about God of War because Kratos was in Mortal Kombat 9. Stay weird.
That's
degenerates.
Insanity right there.
That's not that crazy. I can see that.
That's extremely crazy.
If you just play fighting games,
who really?
If you just play fighting games,
I don't know how you could be that close to video games at all and just not be aware of Kratos' presence.
There's so many people, man. There's so many. There are people who just play fucking FIFA. You know.
That's true. I guess.
Look, man. It is true, but it's one of those things where it's like, I guess, not being aware. Even people who don't play video games would be like, oh, I know that guy. That's Halo. That's that Halo guy. You know, they know who you're talking.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things. Like you see fucking Kratos, and like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah,
I've never played a God of War game, but I know who that fucking guy is. That to me is just a little bizarre. Jimmy Rings.
Jimmy Rings, good old Jimmy Rings. I think. Well, I mean, I found out about Yoda through Soul Calibur. So I mean, that makes sense to me
too. But like,
I know that's fake. So
that's real.
I don't know if I believe you or not.
For real.
Like, I'm gonna. Like, okay, I guess. So, you know, like.
No, like I played Soul Calibur and I saw this little green boy.
I know you think you believe that, and I respect you believe that. But I can't believe that.
No, I swear to you, I had no. I told Kingston. I told you, I was not a Star Wars kid growing up at all. I missed the entire thing.
But never seen Yoda and being like, oh, what's
you discovered
that?
Darth Vader too, right? That way.
Who's that?
Oh, never mind then.
Not knowing about Darth Vader.
You still have a lot of catching up to do, I guess.
The most famous villain probably ever.
Yeah, he hasn't been in anything I've played.
Yeah.
Or watched. So.
But I was watching. So this is crazy. This is a crazy thing. It's really happened. I was with Lily's cousins one time, and we were watching. We saw Hugh Jackman come on the screen, and the cousin was like,
gross.
That's the guy from The Greatest Showman," and I was like, "Excuse me." She's like, "Yeah, that's the guy from The Greatest Showman, right?" And I was like, "Don't you mean Wolverine for 20 years?"
Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah, that too. I was like, you just
that
said.
Too.
I mean, that makes sense.
He's that guy from The Prestige, isn't it? Yeah, it's that guy.
That's the Tree of Life. That's the guy from The Tree of Life, bro. Remember The Tree of Life, that iconic movie?
The fuck are you talking about?
What are you on right now?
It's like, it's Adam Sandler from SNL. Yeah, it's fucking like yeah. Like no, there's certain things.
Yeah, is that Eddie Murphy from Norbit? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy from Shrek.
From that's fair actually. I will say.
Yeah,
that's not fair. No, it's not.
For kids,
no, it's
for
not.
kids at that time.
For kids, okay,
yes, for kids at that time.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. For kids,
because there's no way like there's no way a 7-year-old child was like, I can't wait to watch Delirious.
Like it wasn't.
I mean, look, and then some of them might be too young for like the Nutty Professor. You know, like
right.
That was he had such he didn't stay consistent, and so like you have like so there's like his stand up, there's Coming to America, there's the Nutty Professor, and then there's Shrek. Like as far as like those big ones, and those are like a lot of times in between.
That's true.
Yeah, and like it would be weird.
Those movies are all kind of raunchy in some way, though. To be fair,
agreed.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy from Tower Heist, right? You or Eddie Murphy from Tower Heist. You'd be like,
Eddie Murphy
what?
from Tower Heist. Oh my god!
I've never even seen that movie.
I never would have seen that, but my friend's mom. I was living with my friend at the time, and she brought it over. There's no other way I would have seen that movie.
Like, is that Miranda Sings from Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh my god! Lord.
She was in that movie for a half second.
She's like, hey.
It's me, Miranda Singh. And she goes away. Is she dead? What happened to her?
No, I think she came out and said something recently. I don't remember. Something that pissed people off.
Yeah, whatever.
It was one of those things that just pissed people off. I don't remember what it was.
She's not a likable gal, you know?
I want to know what she has to say. I want to know what she has to say about these.
Oh God!
I was like, get Colleen Ballinger to sing a ukulele song of peace.
That's it.
That could maybe help figure things out.
You just solved everything, brother.
Yeah,
maybe you should calm down.
I should tweet at. What's
That's a good tweet. You got something there.
No, I'll tweet at her. I'll be like, yo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but the Middle East is in turmoil right now.
Things are pretty weird right now.
Things are pretty weird right now. If you could you bring out your ukulele? I'll tweet Gal Gadot, ask her to sing Imagine.
With
a bunch of random.
Let's go.
Like it really.
Hey,
I think about that every now and again. I think about that. I think about that every now and again, and I'm really sincerely every time fucking gobsmacked that they thought that was like an appropriate thing to do.
A good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I got an idea. Everyone's stranded at home and losing their jobs and isn't making money and can't afford rent and is losing their loved ones to a plague. Let's
Imagine
do a collab.
Let's imagine all the people.
Let's imagine
all of them.
Imagine
sing a really good song about made famous by a wife beater.
Yeah, let's take this wife beater's little song about imagining not being beaten up by her wife, and make a bunch of people sing it poorly.
Imagine your wife listened.
That's what he was really singing, and then like the record company was like, "Listen, can we like make this a little bit less volatile, please?"
Well, you always trying to disrupt my. I'm so bad at. I can't do Liverpool.
I don't mind
very good.
beating up my wife.
Yeah, that's better. That's good. That's pretty good. I like that.
I really love it.
Yeah.
So can we?
It's my favorite thing to do.
We can do Imagine with Hasidic Jews and members of Hamas.
Oh my God! I don't think. Yeah, I feel like they would have a hard time getting along.
I feel like there'd be some tension.
So what
for
we'll
sure.
do is we'll stitch it together. We'll tell them that it's like, oh, it's just their side. Like it's just Netanyahu's people.
Trick them into a collab.
I can't work if he's here.
It's the idea that this is like a Fairly Odd Parents episode or something where you could just like resolve it in like 22 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like this is like an iCarly. Like if I wrote iCarly, this would be the pilot episode. It would be iCarly solves the Israeli-Palestine conflict.
I'm not gonna do this,
and it would be
here. Yeah, I can't work if he's here too. They both walk away. And
did you see that, Cory?
How are we gonna do this?
Did you guys ever watch a show called Cory in the House?
Of course,
I didn't watch it, but I'm aware of it.
So Cory in the House has. I don't know why this episode has been. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but there was an episode where. All right, so let me lay the groundwork here first. Cory in the House is a show about Raven Simone's brother from That's So Raven becoming a chef with his dad in the White House.
Well, no. He doesn't become a chef. The dad was always a chef.
His dad became a chef, and then he went to live with him in the White House. So this is the story. This is the story of Cory in the House. And there's an episode where they accidentally sell Alaska to the Russians, and they have to win it back in like a dance competition.
Is this
and I
real?
swear to you, I'm not even fucking remotely kidding.
It's a very real
and
episode.
I swear to you, they CG the dances. This just came into my head. Ew, gross. Like immediately. I don't know why. I don't know why what we were talking about reminded me of this.
I can't believe that's a real thing.
Derek, you simply I understand this is very funny and it is. I would lie about it, but I assure you this is real.
That's
it's very real. It's very real.
That is okay. All right. Okay. Oh, it just sounds so. It's
Cory in the House.
Why would they be involved in? How would you accidentally oh my? There's so many things that I just have to watch it. That's the only thing I can do.
The episode is called Air Force One Too Many.
Air Force One Too Many.
And there's a scene where they're in a it's DDR. Sorry, they're doing a DDR.
Oh, DDR. Okay.
But I swear to you,
makes way more sense now. That is dancing. Yeah. You know how much the Russians love DDR.
You have to see this clip.
It's huge over there, Chris. It's huge.
Can we?
It's huge over there, Chris.
Can we put this in the episode? Can we put this clip? You have to see this. Hold on. Let me send you. So the timestamp go to 18 minutes and 15 seconds. It's the whole episode on YouTube. It's called Air Force One Too Many. Okay. But he is dance battling the Russian Prime Minister, and it is such a fever dream of a fucking thing.
So why is the president not doing it? I don't like.
He delegated Cory to do it because Cory has the exaggerated swagger of a young black teen.
So it's also racist. It's like racism. Hey, you boy, you're good at dancing. Get over there and win back Alaska. Oh, sure, Mr. President.
It is, yo, it gets so fucking... I watched this on mushrooms and got so scared. Like, it really scared me.
How about
he wins the dance battle, and then they get Russia back. Spoiler alert. Sorry,
I can't believe they won it back.
Season 1, episode 5. Season 1, they did this, by the way.
That shit's only going up from
there.
It's only going
it's not
up
like they already
from
jumped
there,
the
bro.
fucking shark, dude.
That is so crazy.
How are you gonna jump the
It's
shark
only
that
going
fucking
up from
early?
there, man.
That would be like if they went to space in Fast and the Furious 1.
Yeah, exactly that.
Fucking wild. Although I guess episode 1, Raven Simone could see the future of That's So Raven. So I guess the whole point of Disney Channel sitcoms is that they are shark jumping stories in the first place.
Fair enough.
Like Wizards of... I didn't watch that show, but Wizards of Waverly Place, I assume, is just about fucking real wizards who are alive somewhere, which is already like, all right.
Yeah, it just well
I
established
never
in that
called it
universe,
Wizard.
I
I
guess.
just called N-words from Waverly Place, but yeah.
I don't think you called it. I don't think you called it that.
I definitely called it that. I called it magical N-words from Waverly Place.
Magical N-words. What about Cory and Hamas? What about that? You think that would...
Derek, shut the fuck up.
Do you think that will solve the... You think you can talk to...
Cory.
Somebody get Kyle Massey on the phone.
You think
They need to do some shit.
maybe
God.
Netanyahu and Cory fucking have a DDR fucking dance off to win the territory?
Beats him by a mile, bro.
My headphones got tangled.
How does that even happen? I think headphone cords are alive.
Cory beats him by a country mile, bro.
He fucking destroys him, and Netanyahu has to step down. Like, Israel has to pack up and leave. Like,
It has to pack up and leave Israel.
yeah, Israel has to pack up and leave.
Go find the land of milk and honey again, niggas.
Dude, oh my God. The idea of Cory and Hamas. Oh my God.
That would
What's the next one before you keep making fun of this shit again, dude? What's the next one?
Yeah,
Next time on Disney Channel, Cory and Hamas.
with all that Middle Eastern like fucking harmonic minor music.
Harmonic minor, it's so specifically accurate. All right, let's move on. Oh my God.
Cory and Hamas. It's a part every week, nigga.
Oh God.
It's a part
I
of my
don't even understand.
So bad.
Sober
They're just doing all these atrocities under the name of Cory.
So Harry Dubois gagging on a Luger wrote in. He says, "Hola, Hispanic Panic, well-spoken elder, and Sweeney. My question reads thus: Is Sober October a valid practice in your opinion, or is it just a way for addicts to prove that they're on top of it?" He wrote it in quotes.
That's so mean-spirited.
He also says, "P.S. the Discord." He also says, "P.S. the Discord link broke. New one coming soon, boss." Sweeney, you have an answer for this? You have an answer for this, man?
Okay.
Yeah. There will be a new one. But
Sober October. You guys know the origins of Sober October?
No.
I have no idea.
Do you?
It's so I think this was like 2016 or something. Joe Rogan with his friends Bert Kreischer, Ari Shaffir, and Tom Segura. This was because of Bert, because Bert's was
Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse,
basically. And like the only one that I somewhat like is Tom Segura still. And my relationship with him is a little bit iffy because I said that he was it, what do you call it? He muted me on Instagram, whatever that's called.
Oh yeah,
or restricted me. So I respect
that.
him a lot less, but whatever. But long story short, they did a competition with it, and it only started because Bert Kreischer is a fucking alcoholic retard, and they just try to get him sober for like a month. And so they turned into a competition, and then it got too far because Joe Rogan's insane, and he must destroy everybody. And they started like, oh, we need to like do this and lose this amount of weight, and whoever can get this many miles on our like heart trackers and stuff. And then he started going to the part where he's like pissing brown because he has no more water in his system other than to keep him alive.
He's pissing brown?
Yeah, basically, it got to the point where they
You
were
see
just,
that beige in my toilet bowl? That's the inner linings of my kidneys. I don't need them.
If you piss brown, you got to go to a hospital.
Yeah,
I piss beige, boy.
like, you're a pussy if you've never experienced that. That's the Joe Rogan podcast, and so they stopped it finally because it got to the point where they were like, "Oh, this is getting too dangerous," and then it became like nerfed, and then everyone that were watching and stuff was like, "This is gay and boring now." But yeah, it was a whole thing where it's like, "Oh, let's just get sober for a month, and then we'll continue our debauchery afterwards." And it's like, well, then what exactly is the point? Like, really, what is really the point of you taking a month off other than maybe your body thanking you?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, like, I could easily go a month sober.
Well, the thing is this, right?
Incredibly easily.
If you need to prove to yourself that you can do it, like some people need to prove to themselves they can do it. That happens.
Yeah, I mean that's
So essentially, they have a problem, you know. Like when I used to drink a lot, I decided to stop. I just decided to stop drinking, and I was pretty much like, I can go to parties without smoking and drinking, and I proved it to myself, and I was like, all right, cool. And then from there, now I don't really smoke and drink at all anymore. But I had to prove it to myself that I could do that, you know. So if you need to prove something, but like if it's like it's October, no more, it's like no, not November, you know, bro, like just stupid,
which is retarded. That one's like no respect for anyone who does that. Like zero. Zero. And why I say that specifically is
I've always wanted to try it.
I
it's
definitely
just not
did it before.
healthy. That's just the big thing that annoys me. It's antithetical. Like, say how, okay, Sober October, it can have a lot of benefits because people are like, oh, I'm going to cut out alcohol. I'm going to cut out fast food or whatever. I'm like, actually, that's incredibly healthy. That's great.
Yeah.
Not beating off is actually like, talk to your fucking urologist and you'd be like, no, you should keep the pipes clear.
You're crazy, nah, dude.
Keeping it built up is not good for you. I don't beat off at
all, and my dick looks like a knot. It looks like a fucking balloon animal knot. It's fucking perfect, right? I'm fine.
Yeah,
my
dude,
balls,
I did No Nut November one time, and my balls were basically as big as you ever guys play tetherball? It was
You're
basically
insane.
It was like
you're insane. That's not real. That doesn't happen.
My scrotum inflated to the point where it was smooth like a tetherball. Because like you got all this room, right? Like it's like stretchy and like wrinkly, like old man. But if you go enough
into
time,
the future, your testicles,
your specimen will build up to the point where you like. I'm telling you. Sometimes I see tetherballs and it reminds me of that. I have a little PTSD from that shit. So I can't go to like high schools or playgrounds or whatever and see a tetherball and I get like a little freaked out.
I just don't know how people do it in the first place.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I can't go 2 days. I can't go 2 days.
The nut that you have afterwards would be glorious.
I cannot go 2 days.
2 days is easy. That's easy.
Impossible.
A week is when I'm like, all right, I got to do something about this.
It's just
the second 24 hours. The second 24 hours hits. It's done.
Like literally, like a circadian rhythm. Did you feel it?
100%. It's like I feel like something's wrong. Something's not right.
I mean, I can definitely get like because sometimes I'm just too busy. That's what it really comes down to.
Honestly,
where I'm like, oh, I don't
I'll
have
make time.
Because even making time, like say for example,
random bathroom and beat off.
Just run in there real quick.
Like, I'll give you a second. He just goes to a bathroom, beats his dick, and comes back.
Nature calls.
I will say one time though, because like I was really irritable because of that, and but this was a long time ago when I used to drive from Hacienda Heights to Glendale for work, which was 30 miles. I used to drive like 30 plus miles to work, and one time I was so busy. I was so busy and I was so traffic jammed. I was upset. I was about to do Falling Down with Michael Douglas. I was about to do that shit, and I was like, bro, this is too much. And then I was like, I think I just got to like beat off or something. I just got to beat off traffic, and then like I was like, fucking, I'm looking around and shit. I beat the fuck off, dude. And I gotta tell you something. I get why people like try to fuck in public and all this stuff because it just like when you're doing some shit that you shouldn't be doing like that. Fucking best nut.
Did you immediately like rubbing in your hands and then putting in your hair, like slick your hair back, like slick your hair like Virgil did? It never made
everybody.
Stupid. No, what I really did was
first of all that's insane.
Yeah, there was
insane. Where you're
definitely okay.
There was this guy that cut me off. Right, and I was like, I got something for you.
You calm down.
Yeah, I got something for him. I fucking do. Can you imagine
for a moment?
Directly. Yeah. Go ahead.
Imagine for a moment. Before you open your car, right? Before you're like, I gotta go for a drive. you come in your hand. You're and then you get in your car and you drive. Your hand is cupped. You've got it just in your hand, ready, waiting for someone to honk at you. Waiting for somebody to like get on your they cut me off, and then you pull on next to them, throw it at their window.
And you throw it in their face. You throw it in their face. You start arguing like
you tell them roll the window down. You do the little finger thing, roll the window down.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you want? An overhand throw.
I'd rather get shot than that. I'd rather get shot than that any day.
I want to take it up to the next level. I want to make boba cum. So like you go get those the boba teas. So you get your cum
like
in those
spheres, spheres of cum.
So you get
like
you get it ready.
Like cum nuggets.
And then I haven't had a fucking slingshot since I was a kid. But you fucking see where I'm you following me right now, right?
That is crazy.
Dude, that would be sick as fuck. So you still do the same thing. It's the same scenario, but there's a little force now.
I definitely feel like this is why I feel like children... I feel like this is why we evolve the way we do. I feel like there's a reason why our bodies only do certain things at a certain point. Because if you could do that as like a 7-year-old and freeze... Just like somehow coagulate that shit into like a sphere and use it as slingshot ammo, they would.
Oh yeah,
they would do it.
Yeah,
that's so. What you've just described to me is tragic to the human condition.
Not really,
hey, man.
Boba cum to Kingston. You get slingshotted with a sphere of cum? Are you kidding?
You ever put a real slingshot? Like a not toy one, like a serious one.
Like a weapon.
They will hurt their slings. They will hurt the fuck out of you. Imagine that's cum. Imagine it's a little bead of cum that it hits you. It's really tiny, and it hits you, and it blows up, and there's like a gallon and a half of cum in it, and it just whops over you, and you fall down.
a gallon. That is insane. It's just a non-Euclidean fucking.
Now we're just thinking of future tech. Now we're just thinking of
oh my god, why is it so much? It's so much.
We here at Apple. We here at Apple have managed to find a way to condense 76 gallons of cum into a single thumb-sized bead.
It was Steve Jobs' his dying wish.
His dying wish.
Complete my work.
This was the last thing in his notebook. Before he was taking
before
out
they sealed him in his
PC.
tomb, before they closed his fucking tomb on him. That's what he asked
killed
for.
him for good.
If the government subsidized, or if Apple subsidized billions from the government to work on this project, would you guys mind?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they increased my tax 100%, I would be all right with it.
Yeah. If they increase my tax, I'd still be fine with this.
To make sure
they should increase. In fact, they should increase my taxes, lower my wages, raise my rent.
You're just willing to go down with the plane. You're just completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have another. What was it called? Black Tuesday, or what was it called? The market crash in the 30s or whatever.
Oh yeah. That's
like Nigga Wednesday, right?
It was called. Yeah. That was the next day. That was the next day. Whatever that was, we have another one of those. But it was worth it because we all have, like, you have these government officials going to everyone's house and passing out cum balls. It just,
oh man,
it's worth it. Everybody, the economy is crashed.
You see this sphere? This holds 2 gallons of cum, and they give you a bag of 30.
You know what's crazy? That would be like there are scientists who would probably they would look at that and they'd be like, I don't know why you did this, but that's like scientifically speaking, that's amazing.
That actually is incredible.
Like if that's true, if you've if you've managed to do that, that is like one of the most incredible, like actually sincerely one of the most incredible things that we would have ever seen.
Where would have all that cum come from?
It would have means it would mean you've circumvented a way around mass. Like that's insane. No. That is insane. It's just like, oh, we can make anything now.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess the only way you can do it at some point, it's like you figure out a way to turn it into a gas somehow.
Yeah, and then somehow like,
and then you can like make it turn like liquid again.
Well, the gas would still weigh as much as the liquid would. If it's that much, it would still be the weight of the liquid.
Gas doesn't weigh anything, idiot. It's in the air.
Duh.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Sorry, my bad.
Why do you think
This
it's like?
fucking
Why do you think
moron.
it's like you can? The scientists always say, astrophysicists always say that you could pick up Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why do you
my
think?
bad,
Why do you
guys.
think
No,
when you
that's-
fill your car up, it gets lighter, idiot?
Yeah, dude. I forgot to have I forgot how that's not how mass works at all. But yeah, whatever, dude. For sure.
That is literally how mass works. Mass equals acceleration.
Mass
didn't
equals
fucking-
mass equals.
Yeah, M equals E.
M equals M. M equals M times E.
M equals.
Einstein's like, what have you, Einstein? What have you uncovered? Me.
Brilliant.
Me as he freaking blows his head off. As he eats
By
his own
George.
jaw. As he eats the top part of his own jaw.
The thing that I love is the thing.
his own face.
What I love about that is the insinuation, the very idea that him turning to some guy saying "me," exploding his head. Like from that moment on, we learned so much because of it. Like that, for some reason, was the inciting incident that like led us to understand the world around us. Because Albert Einstein frantically
So is that
turned
how?
around, said "me," and exploded.
Is that how we? Because of this is how they learned how to. Have
The
gallons of
implication-
cum in a ball.
Yeah, the implication being that if he had not turned around and frantically said "me" and exploded, we would not have the technology that we have today.
That's so
I love
fucking
that.
awesome. What
That
if,
is
what if
sick.
in an alternative universe, an alternative timeline, that legitimately happened, and he's with that happened right after he met Oppenheimer and all that shit, blah 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 blah. And when they're ready to drop those bombs, and the bombs are dropped, but it's just gallons, like tens, hundreds of thousands of gallons of cum. In
It
those,
turns,
in those,
it
like,
turns every hydrogen molecule in the area into 5 gallons of cum.
And a
And
comic bomb.
It's
so everyone just drowns. So that's all.
Japan
That's
would be
so crazy.
crusted over.
Yeah,
It'd be
Hiroshima and
crusted.
Nagasaki still were
We've got to
devastated.
venture. We have to venture into the crust lands.
People would. There'd be people just covered in cum staying there.
Yeah.
They'd be mummified in cum.
There's
They'd be
so much that it
cummified.
turned into. Dude, those two areas turn into new lakes. That's how much cum it is. Like they can't extract it. It's too much.
That's what the fallout is. The fallout is just the smell.
Everyone's just disgusted.
It's just the smell. It's like
What
you
if
have,
the
you have like explorers. You have explorers that are like, wait,
We're near
Chlorine.
the cum lands.
Chloe, we're
close.
the Japanese surrendered because it was just too gross. Like the emperor he's addressing his people and he's gagging. Right? He's just like, dude, this is too much. We can't do this anymore. We gotta surrender.
You know what's really wild? The idea of that, like a lot of people in the military were like, yeah, they surrendered after the first one. They definitely surrendered after the first one.
They were going to surrender. They were going to surrender probably before, like
Like, hurry.
Yeah, they were just like,
Press
Turn
the
off
button,
radios,
press
turn
the
off your
button,
fucking
press the button,
radios.
press the button.
that's the thing that's truly crazy about it is that like you could see a scenario like where if they weren't on the back foot, where like there would have been a pretty good case to be like, listen, this is going to go on for.
Well, they weren't really on the back foot.
Like, that's what I mean. This one, well,
they were losing the Pacific Theater, but they weren't losing. They weren't losing in a way that was like
they were done for, really. Like,
no, not by the time we dropped the bomb on
not
them.
in the
They had more
moment.
fight in
Not in the
them.
moment. They had more. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, realistically speaking, the war at that point in time would not have persisted for as long as they were afraid that it would have. It just wouldn't have. It just wouldn't have.
Let's be
I
real.
don't
If
know,
it wasn't
man.
for Kummenheimer,
because they were fucking shit up in the
Speaking of Oppenheimer,
Philippines
actually,
and shit
speaking
too.
of Oppenheimer, actually, that's actually a good reference to a previous question because I learned about Albert Einstein through that movie. I had no idea.
Kummenheimer.
That's crazy. That is
Oppenheimer?
crazy. You had
What's
no
better?
clue. You had no
imagine-
clue
can you
who's the
imagine-
most famous, one of the most famous scientists of all time. You had
Can
no
you imagine
clue who
watching
he was.
Oppenheimer? Can you imagine watching Oppenheimer, Albert Einstein come on screen, and you whisper, "Who's that?"
No, you say it out loud. Who's that?
Yeah, who the fuck is that nerd?
Who's this nigga?
Who's that?
He was. This nigga.
And everyone's like, "You're kidding, right?" He's like, "No, who is that?
Who the fuck is this guy?
No, seriously, who's that guy?
Why is he showing up so fucking late in the movie? Fuck this guy. I don't care about this. Like, I've already got. I'm trying to. Yeah.
He looks like a guy from Jimmy Neutron.
Who's this fucking Nazi? I don't care about this.
Oh man.
Like, who's this Nazi? The least Nazi of German. The least
best friends
Nazi
with
German
fucking
ever.
like Dr. Mengele and shit. You see him in the background, like just chopping it up with fucking Mengele. Like, hey, how's it been? How's it going over there?
How's back home treating you?
Oh, no anesthesia, huh? Oh, that's kind of fucked up, but hey, do your thing.
That's a little much.
I can whip you up, so if you're like, you don't want it, okay, all right, no problem.
Germs 42 wrote in. He says, hello Shark Tank. I've been listening since episode 3.
Damn.
That's a long timer right there. My question for you guys is, if you had to present your own hoax to the Mexican government, what would it be? I would absolutely stage an interview with the Chupacabra. Like
That'd be
1,000,000%.
sick as fuck.
It'd be like I'd be like, we managed to secure we managed to get him in the room, thank God, to ask some questions. And it would just be some guy caked in mud. With like a scream mask or something. I don't even know what I would. I have no idea what I would do, but I'd be like, so Mr. Chupacabra, and he's like, call me Cabra. Or whatever,
Call
like
me
just some
Cabra.
fucking call me Cabra. That sounds like you know what that actually sounds like? That sounds like a sitcom about like the Chupacabra going to like high school or something.
Can you imagine?
Like on Disney Channel, it'd be like Call Me Cabra.
Yeah,
airs Sunday nights on Disney Channel.
Cabra.
The idea of like talking to Chupacabra is like, hola Chupacabra, ¿cómo estás? Bien ustedes? ¿Usted? And it's like, you're having a conversation. The Chupacabra just said, well, and you back to you. And you guys are having a conversation with the Chupacabra. And everybody's just like, the Mexican people are losing their mind. It's like it's like having a swimming race with the Ya Llorona, you know? And like, it's like, we're going through the world.
Stupid.
It's like, is this stupid shit like
cool.
that? I don't know. This would be a good question to ask Lily.
But I think the real question is, what does the Baba Yaga think of the Israel-Palestine conflict?
Baba Yaga. Isn't that the thing that like if it bends, it can't stand back up?
Like?
The Baba Yaga.
What if it's just me?
What if you ever picture like a
picture
boogeyman
of me,
looking like?
Straight up picture of me. Like photo image of me
Rudy,
right now.
Literally you.
It's just Rudy Giuliani with like the ink rolling down his face. That's
terrifying. That would freak me out.
That's definitely a creature.
That would be folklore material. Like if you took a photo of Rudy Giuliani with like with the ink running down his ears, took that image and just put it on the ceiling of a nursery. Like printed it on the ceiling of a nursery and flashed the lights on and off for like 3 straight days. Like I wonder what kind of conjuring you could do in the minds of those kids when they're like full grown up.
Yeah. You would just frighten them really bad.
I bet it would be long lasting.
You fucking talk to those kids to see if they're okay, and all they can say is just like, "Those are my tits. Those are my tits.
These are my tits.
Those are my tits.
Give me my tits." Like that's
all they're trying to bite you.
Like, frightened. Those are my tits.
We're not brave enough. That's the problem with us is we're not brave enough to do the stuff that it doesn't need to be done, but would be kind of neat to see. You know, like we don't like we don't get to print a picture of Rudy Giuliani's face on the ceiling of a nursery and flash the lights on and off and traumatize young babies to see like what that would do to them.
What
like we don't have the bravery to do that.
Yeah,
and it's kind of man.
Yeah, dude.
We're in this new woke world, dude.
Yeah, we're in this new world where we got to put our seatbelts on. We can't enjoy a beer on a drive home. We have to put our children in the back seat.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The back seat's the least safe place.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
If the back seat was so good, if the back seat was so good, then why did Rosa Parks not want to sit there?
Facts. That's some
that
real
bitch
shit right
wasted
there.
her time. I was always in the back of the bus on purpose. Stupid.
That was the most coveted. That was the back. The seat on the bus that was like back and to the right, like the back rightmost part of the bus.
Good.
That was like That was basically unofficially like the king of that bus. Like, there's something about that seat that was insane.
There was always a quiet kid on the bus too that would sit like somewhere in the back, and he was very quiet. Like he wouldn't sit directly in the back, but he'd sit near the back, and he was quiet.
He would sit near the back,
and he would. When he went down, he'd protect you.
That was me. I would always sit at the front of the back third of the bus. If you know what that if that makes sense. That's a weird way to say that, but. Yeah, I was like, I'm good here. This feels right. I'm going to listen to my CD player and have it skip as this bus drives in the most unruly way possible as it takes me home.
Nice. Dang.
Remember when music used to skip? Do you remember that? Oh, Jesus Christ.
You had to buy the anti-skip shit, baby.
Anti-skip. They sold that. Can you imagine if they sold like any kind of MP3 like music playing device and they were like, oh, this one pauses the music sometimes. Sorry.
So
like that was just a reality. It's insane. Anyway, let's try and find one more question and then buck the fuck on out of here.
Let's go.
So I want to read this because this is a grievance. Okay,
let's go.
This is a grievance, which is very exciting.
I want to hear this.
Black China, I drink her piss out of another man's balls, wrote in.
Wow.
And he says, very long time listener, new patron here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
I doubt this is going to get read on the show, but as a fighting game developer myself, the sheer ignorance in the room when the topic is brought up infuriates me to no end.
Let's go.
Not even getting into most of the misconceptions surrounding frame data, games being slower nowadays, or input latency that have been brought up in the past episodes, because I'd be here all day. But for the sake of education, I just want to say that Chris's Melee is faster than Marvel vs. Capcom 2 debate has been ringing in my head for months, and I'm tired of arguing at a wall. This is the only reason I gave you fuckers money. We'll honor it. When it comes to determining how fast a given game is, movement speed is typically not even in the conversation, since other factors like damage and combo length / depth have much greater impact on speed. But because you had specifically mentioned movement or specified movement speed, Sweeney is correct because of something I'm surprised neither of you brought up in this debate: stage size. The maximum distance a player can be away from another player is significantly smaller in Marvel vs. Capcom than in Melee, meaning every individual movement is covering more distance in reality than we may perceive. Think of it as two monkeys fighting in a tiny cage. Well, I get it. It's more like frame rate. Not frame rate. I get it in the sense of like FOV. Where like if your FOV is tiny, it feels like you're moving through a first-person environment slower than you actually are. Whereas if you widen
like panning
it,
out.
I wouldn't really say it's FOV. I guess FOV is just stage size. Like you don't even have to say FOV. It's the size of the stage.
No. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying it's FOV. What I'm saying is the relation that I'm making and how I know what you're talking about.
I can already
is FOV.
I can already respond to this one thing because I feel like it is a little bit. It's a little bit obtuse to ignore when we talk about speed. I understand what he means, like say, like with your FOV, like a depth of field. Like say, there's a perfect example of in God of War 2. When you're on these chains, there's these horses, these steeds of time, and when you're on this long ass giant chain, it starts panning out, and as it's panning out, it just looks like you're not even fucking moving because it's so fucking far away. Like it's like a plane. You look at a fucking airplane, right? I get how that works. However, there's an example of like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. You can turn it up the speed by point something by upping the stars. There is an actual speed that you can manipulate. Just like if you use a trainer in a game and you can manipulate the fucking speed. There are some things that are set to a specific speed. There's a standard. And the standard in some games, like Killer Instinct, was fucking faster. Like to ignore that like I said, it's obtuse.
Yeah,
because
I don't know.
You can manipulate. I use trainers to manipulate this. So I can fucking sometimes hurry the fuck up, and sometimes it just feels better to me. I'm like, oh, I can fucking do this a lot faster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still
trilogy.
I still don't understand in in particularly Marvel 2. Like, I know not every character is like blitzingly fast, but particularly Wolverine in general is so insanely fucking quick in that game. It's ridiculous.
He's meant to be a lot faster, but not and because of that
HP.
though, he's a lot weaker.
Yeah, he's low HP.
He's also a lot. Yeah, he's low. Well, it's usually like the faster they are, the less damage they can.
Now Wolverine does a shit ton of damage. He does a fuck ton.
I think it's just because I think if you check, because he can do so many combos, like it's the equivalent of, say, like, oh, somebody doing a grappling move, right? That's one move, and then Wolverine hitting you like 6 times or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because the character that like was weak but they were fast was like Psylocke. Psylocke was weak but
kill
fast.
Himself. He's probably so mad right now. He's probably
here's the thing, right?
He's probably so upset right now.
Yeah, he says love the show, keep up the good work. You should kill yourself.
Still, but like my counters, he probably go ahead.
I will say this.
Yeah.
Speed is largely very relative, and in most cases is very much like an illusion. It very much like FOV, like I brought up earlier. There are people like who would say like, oh, Halo 3 is a very slow game. It's like, Halo 3 is not a slow game. Halo 3 has a FOV that makes it feel slow. And so when you raise that FOV to like 120, suddenly Halo 3 is fucking blisteringly fast in comparison to 60. And so when I'm talking about speed, I'm talking about how it feels and how it looks. I'm not necessarily talking about how fast it is, because that in and of itself is depending on how it looks.
And you think Melee
Halo
looks
3
faster?
You are not moving across a battlefield in Halo 3 any faster on 60 than you are on 70 FOV than you are on 120. The only difference is that it feels that way. And Melee feels faster.
I'd so strongly disagree, but I guess,
and that's really observable. Like, I feel like if you put Melee in front of Marvel vs. I really do feel like if you put Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Melee next to each other at the highest levels of play, the overwhelming majority, if not, I would bet like 90% of people would say that Melee is faster. Whether or not that's true or not in the actual math is kind of irrelevant, because again, this is all relative and it's all illusionary anyway. It's kind of like when you're driving, and like if you're driving on like a 20 mile an hour road, 70 feels really fucking fast, but on a highway where you've just done 120, 70 feels like 20. You know, like it really is just a matter of, it doesn't matter how fast something actually is, it matters how it feels.
The only time I would say there'd be an argument against that is when you stop to do a special move, because you stop, like there's a halt, and then you do a special. But like I really can't think of Melee being fast. Like I recently got back into playing Marvel 3. Games kind of sucks, but I've been on a fighting game binge. Like I relearned how to play Street Fighter. And like I'm like, oh, I started playing Marvel 3 again, and that game is just so. Even that game's pretty fucking fast.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're slow.
It's just, to me, the only thing you compare it to, because like you said, how it feels. But like there is always the comparison, right? And the only reason people are saying that, and people like myself, is because of the games I grew up with. Playing the original Street Fighter felt fine to me, of course. It felt fine because that was the only, I had nothing to compare it to. Once Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo came out, and you were able to, I put the speed all the way up, and I fucking loved it. And because of that, it kind of ruined the experience of other games for me, because I'm like, oh, I just like how fast this feels, because it's something that feels like maybe I don't know if people just couldn't keep up or something, but I just love that speed. It's like, for example, when like say, there's that Raid. When I started playing Raid back in 2019, it starts off on just 1x speed normal. But then once I discovered that there's a 2x, I never went back, because now 1x literally feels like they're underwater to me. And I mean like underwater. I'm not even fucking around, where I'm watching this shit and I'm like, this is crazy. This is so fucking slow. How the hell did I even play it like this before?
You got ADHD, bro.
And so that's kind of how I feel like that when I go from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or say Killer Instinct 2. I tried to play the new Killer Instinct recently, and it just like, even though a lot of people really enjoyed it, it's not what I played Killer Instinct for. I played it mainly for the speed. The vast amount of
because in Killer Instinct, you're still fast in that game, but it's more like comboing, like how long your combos go on.
Well, see, but that's the thing. That's the one thing that they still kept. Like, you can do the combos is insane how many combos you can do, the length of them. But the thing that really sold it for me was, oh, I just did a 13-hit combo in like 3 fucking seconds. Like in the old games, before like 4 to 5 seconds, and you're like, oh, 13 hits, where it's like, that is, say for example, I'm playing MK1 right now, I'm really enjoying it. For me to do a 13-hit combo is almost like, oh, okay, it's closer to like 8 seconds or something. It's like a reasonable speed. I still enjoy it, but I'm just saying I loved the fucking speed. And when we're talking about this, when I'm, the gentleman that wrote in, is that's the only thing that I'm really talking about, is that I feel like there is a standard that is set because of online gameplay that games can't be that fast because it's just a little bit too fast for it being like a standard. And that's just my opinion. Where and I don't think depths of field or anything in like fucking Mortal Kombat or anything like that is really going to change it. It's just set specifically to a certain type of speed. And I'm like just there's no cope. I'm fine with it because obviously I still play fighting games. It's not like I'm protesting, but I just feel I'm like, well, it sounds a little obtuse if you're not going to acknowledge that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is clearly much faster than 3 or any fucking thing else. And then as far as what you're saying about Melee and all that stuff or anything else in all that, I think that
you can't directly compare them.
Yeah, it's hard.
They're very, very different games. I'm just saying, like, they feel like, and I think it really is just the ability to run in the way that you can in Melee, and it like by itself kind of increases like the speed of it to me, because the fact that I can run across an entire fucking battlefield like a ninja and just fucking sweep under.
But so many characters are slow as shit in Melee. There's something that's not adding up. It's like something is just like
what do you mean? It's
Falcon is fast in Melee. Fox is fast. Falco's not fast,
bro. If you watch, what I'm saying is, like, if you watch, here's what I'm saying, really, from the basest example of it. When you watch like a really high level competitive game of Melee, it looks like fucking Dragon Ball Z, man. You can't see what the fuck is happening. People are like bouncing across the fucking stage, and they're like doing all this weird shit. They're teleporting, they're zigzagging,
I guess because of the nature of Melee being
and
you
it
get
looks
knocked
insane.
Around.
Right, yeah.
So I can understand how that looks. Because like for Melee, right? Like Melee has some of the fastest inputs. Where like to wave shine somebody, that's 1 frame. You have to do that in 1 frame to get it off correctly. So I can understand.
There's also more of a stage. There's also more of a stage. It's in the same way that like like in a 2D Street Fighter game, it's really just the same. Like it's really just a flat level. And I'm not saying that Smash doesn't have that either. The most competitive high level Smash is on that flat level, but there's also there's just movement there in a way that's different. Like you're not seeing people sprint across. You're not seeing people get like juggled in the same way. It's just a very different experience. I'm not saying it's like fucking molasses and it's like the slowest thing you've ever seen. I'm just saying, like, when I watch a high level competitive game of Street Fighter, I can follow it very easily. When I watch a high level competitive game of Marvel vs. Capcom, I can follow it. Like it's not something that is particularly tricky to analyze. But Melee, it's like, if you blink for a second, you lose your place. And that's just the chaotic nature of Melee also.
I think it's simply because I played Melee so much. That contributes
to the sense of speed as well.
That's why.
Well, you playing that does absolutely factor into it.
I just played Melee so much. Because I played Melee, I used to play Melee competitively. And like it's fast. It is definitely the fastest Smash Bros. Game by far. But it doesn't feel like blisteringly fast.
I just wonder if
it's like that and Project M are the 2 most fast ones. And like,
I wonder if you felt any different when you first played Melee. If you had any if you remember at all that it felt significantly faster or anything.
It felt slow
because
when I played it.
You can adapt pretty easily.
It felt slow when I played it. When I was but that was like 2001. Actually, no. It did feel fast.
You're just an anomaly. Like, I don't
know. Because I remember when I played 4-player, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was getting punched and tossed and shit. So.
If the dude wants to write in again and say if he wants to refute what I say, I would be interested in hearing that, because I just feel like that does play a factor into it because of being able to, let's say when I use trainers, I manipulate the speed, so I don't see why developers couldn't just set it to a specific speed faster for somebody like me to enjoy games at a faster pace. Because even the frames and stuff like that, they're all still going to be, all that shit's still going to happen, but just faster, right? So, like, if this one light punch is done in, like, a single frame or something, it's still going to be done in a single frame, but it's going to be done faster. You know, because you set the game speed a little bit quicker. That's what I'm talking about.
This dude is fastening a noose right now.
I wonder, I wonder because I want to see, like, I would love to be like, okay, please tell me how I'm wrong. I'm very curious about that.
It's a good...
like not even saying like I'm not even saying that I'm right. I just feel like that I think I'm onto something. But hey, please, take a dump on my theory. I don't mind.
All right, and we'll round it out with this.
Yeah.
Loudmouth wrote in. He says, "Not a question, but I'd like to see Derek do a Jordan Peterson recreation of Dracula Flow."
That would be.
That's all he wrote.
Very. That would be very fun. I don't have the best Jordan. Well, it's okay.
He's kind of hard to do.
It's been a while. I for some reason back in because there's this. I was playing GTA Online and I was just doing his impression like as if he was playing, and it was pretty good. But I think it was because I was so not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now like
you kind of have to. You kind of have to like half the effort.
Right.
But it's hard to do it because it's such a, like, inherently it's a Kermit voice, but you can't go too Kermit with it because otherwise it just doesn't sound like him. It just sounds like Kermit. Yeah. So it's like, it's really hard. It's hard to do enough of a Kermit to sound like Jordan Peterson, but not so much Kermit that you just don't just sound like Kermit. It's an annoying, I don't know, man. You got to have a lot of vocal control to do it well, I think.
Yeah. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. Sounds like a nice challenge.
It's not, It's frustrating. I wish I could because I wouldn't stop. Probably.
Hi. Because it's like Kermit, Canadian Kermit. Hi. Jordan, come.
Jordan, come.
Like you just gotta say things over and over again until you kind of get it down.
This shit doesn't mean nothing to me, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
can't
hate
do it.
black. You gotta kind of I hate black.
This sounds like a remix.
I mean, that's how I get my cadence down. If I gotta say shit over and over.
All right, let's move on. Let's get the fuck out of here. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
Bye, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Very low key episode, and we hope if you're listening to this podcast wherever you are, we hope you're safe in these crazy times.
I don't hope you're safe.
Wishing you the best. I'm sure we have fans in areas of the world that are totally fucked right now. So
be safe, everyone. Be safe if you can. Everybody. Please be safe if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but top of the morning.
Oh my god.
You suck. You just marveled. You just marveled is what you did. You undercut like a serious little thing with like a cut the tension joke that
Yeah, very
it's very Marvel of you. It's seeping into the way you talk to people now.
Was it Whedon that started that?
No, it's true. I'm gonna psychoanalyze you now.
Was it Joss Whedon that started that? Was it him, or who was it? Who's responsible for that shit? And that should be like
what?
Drawn and quartered. No, go ahead.
Who?
Let's not get into it. Let's get.
Wait,
who
are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
Let's get out of here. I said Joss Whedon.
Did you really?
I hope you're not. We haven't.
Well, I mean, all right.
We haven't read the names.
Just use the video that I threw in there, I guess. Because
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I don't know what to.
Okay. It's just there's no countdown or anything. It's just gonna cut to it.
There's no. So, tell you what, Sweeney stopped recording. Derek will include this. Sweeney is powerless to say anything right now.
Yeah.
So
Punk
we're just gonna
bitch ass,
we're going
ass.
to cut into. We're going to just repeat the previous. I actually looked into it just in case to make sure that we could get away with that. There is no name change difference at all, and there's nobody that changed, so it would be the same anyway.
Okay.
And we're gonna record again in like 2 days, so that'll be more up to date. But anyway, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Chardonnay. Oh no. Whoa.
John Guido the Fourth. I listened to every episode of the Snark Tank podcast and all I got was this lousy dick. Trans femme and sad in a chemistry PhD program. Revised. Semen on a human, you assuming I won't suck men. What I gotta do to bust a nut in you. I'm super homo. Rap-gade. Nice. In this farewell, there is no cum. There's no hot buff guys because I've sucked bell ends from the dicks of thousands of guys. What? Obama, Lord of Drone Strikes. I have a target lock on Matt Walsh's house. Listening to Sweeney makes me consider racism. Baller of the first sin. There goes my homo. Watch him as she blows. Keith David, but British. 13 episodes and counting down. I am the darkness. Doctor, give me the lube. I've got a hard dick for thick ass dudes. Jolly old dipshit. Banging boy pussy and barrel. Yanti, Johnny Silvercock, Cyphergraph, the UNSC income clad. If you like penis a lot of getting cock in the rain. If you're not into yo girl, if you love anal pain. The only Snark Tank patron to have both justifiably and verifiably shot someone, shot and killed not just one but two people. Oh my god, dear Slim, I rammed you, but you still ain't coming. I like your shaft, your testes, and your taint down to the bottom. And it's just called a man. Derek's gonna love that. Derek will get a nice kick out of that. Oh my god, Adrian, get a glass. I want to see it. Sweeney, lick my weenie. You carry this weight, trying to cover your gayness. Nice. To make it seem like no man could ever fuck you, but I see right through. I don't know. What is that? Some of these songs, like... But I see right... What is it? Oh, my God. But I see right through you. To make it seem like no man... Oh, man. Damn it. That's bothering me. It's right on the tip of my tongue. The Mask 2, starring Paul Blart, Mall Cop, and Blackface. Help. Calling my ass. You're drilling me. All I want is your ooze. Caucasian container. The Cracker Barrel for gays, Tinfoil Tyrant, learning voodoo witch magic to keep Dianne Feinstein in office, putting blackface on my light bulbs, my horse keeps whispering the N-word in Keith David's, Sweeney, swallow up my peenie, bend my dick, come in or snatch, sings, at first I was gay, I was homofied, kept thinking I could never come without your dick inside. She pipkin on my pippa, possum, yes, that's my real name, but when I fuck you, I can cream so much harder than before with my ass in the air. Give me your dick and you'll come into my asshole. I've got Shockwave in my head who calls me illogical. What the fuck? That's Dracula Flow style. I don't know if that is Dracula Flow. I don't think it is, but that's very... I got shockwaves in my head. Call me illogical. Average clit energy. Go ahead. Get comfy. Take your socks off. They should make pedos wear GoPros in prison so you can see what happens to them. I think that would be neat. Star Coffee on Twitch. Bitch. The new Patreon cum stain logo. Aaron Rodgers getting injured is the worst thing to happen to New York on September 11th involving Jets. Transfem Gremlin, exposing people with lactose intolerance to 90 million rodogens of ionizing radiation. Yush, not Vinpen. The Angelic DM, my anaconda don't want none unless you got nuts, hun. Craig the Canadian, Richard Fisting will never forget dubstep in real life. It's your boy Shawnee D. Yuri Lowenthal is my Keith David. Matt Walsh is a hero of our time. Sweet Baby Gang for life. Ben and Jerry's Funky Monkey. Indie Butter Knife on YouTube. Dracula Flow Voice. Her pussy sticky like fly paper. Call me Drosfidile, cause I ain't getting off that shit. 3XO buying Raycons in 2020 and them shocking my ear and ceasing function shortly after the warranty expired. Slurping, stroking, smoking, joking, emoticons going like this. Morning Owlet, Keith David, Drip MH, Return of the Drip, Keith David Voice Ramirez. Meet me at the dumpster at Burger Town. I play with my nipples. Obi Won't You Blow Me. There's a contest on the official From the Shadows movie Instagram account to win a chance to have a conversation with Keith David. Are you serious? Do I want to? No, I'm not going to Google that right now. Wild Little Coonberry. Fucking police coming hard as I thrust and pound. Avi, indestructible. homosexual determination to tear up some man asshole from the other side of penis to behold. Nice. Wage Slave 583, I feel gay, fuck you. The Papini Brothers Emporium of realistic cami and Chun-Li thigh-shaped neck pillows, self-tightening, sold separately. Donkerson, quiet pupil. You got to pay the troll soul to get in the boy's hole. William Harrington, the last guy who ran on the pack, got choked out by some Givenchy gloves. Last thing I ever saw was the price tag on him. And all the homo people, where do they all come in? Tell them Steve Dave, the mythical weeb that showers, uses deodorant, and isn't a pedo, a mean lesbian. I'm high on 12 Jason Bournes, looking to be the cum out of a thick, fresh oak. John Strickland, Armored Hole Sex, Fires of Rubbing Cocks, Mercs 1889, emoticons spelled out the N-word in the sign language. The First Church of Keith David, gay Beatles, be like, help, I need some penis, help, not just any penis, help, I know I need some cum. Mary Jane, finding Peter's panty stash he stole from women in skirts, pre-Roz. Blake 896 getting suspended from school for mispronouncing that one African country. Cops shoot Pomeranian out of fear that his dick is bigger than his. Alaskan oilfield trash. Texas tater salad. The dick police. They're inside my pants. Sue Hulk. Tickle my ass hairs. Nikki Ziggy Chris. It's me Marcus again. I know you're in a coma, but I need your 8 foot tall ass back in the fight. Emoticons going like this. It was all to cream. I used what? It was all to cream. I used Reed Gay magazine. Salt and penis sucking D up in a limousine. Excuse me. Every time I come, it sounds like Squidward walking. Jackson DuPont, Badly Brave, Hugger Derek, Duck Cunt, Bulk, the first disciple of the fitness, Etherean, Progerian Hunter, Melphus won the angriest crowd on his way to Texas. I'm coming for you. You know who you are. And as always, wrapping out our list is the king of haphazard. Thank you all so much for your loving support over at patreon.com/SnarkTank. We love you. We'll see you soon.